gonna just turn up immediately, and Hard Legion might take a bit too long to get going.
Keith, I've got to clarify. Do you say that Hard Legion should win Dust 2?
I think Hard Legion need to win Dust 2 Inferno, yeah. I don't think they're going to win Nuke, yeah.
Well, I think we can all agree with that. I'm going to go for the 2-0 for Heroic, not because my gut says so or anything ridiculous like that. It's because I just like Hunden. And you know what? The guy has me followed on Twitter, so I have no option but to say that. I am biased. I admit it. Regardless, 2-0 Heroic. Let's get into it, boys. Take it away.
Thank you so much, T-Time. Yeah, it's great. We're in for a treat here. Again, a lot of if, ands, or buts. But I truly do feel if Hard Legion are on, they can beat Heroic, and then there's no one else in this tournament that can stop them. And I don't know if you agree, but I feel like this is their weekend. You have no complexity. You have no big. I think it's their time.
Yeah, definitely. I can agree with that. I just feel like it also needs Heroic to play a poorer game, as well as Hard Legion playing really, really well. I think there's enough of a disparity here that if Heroic are playing their best game, it's going to be hard for Hard Legion, unless they play out of their minds completely, which is definitely possible. Like I say, Rage looking really, really good. Across 6 maps, he's like plus 31, right? So he's really spicy and might just be able to pull that out on a map like Dust 2. Could make all the difference. Starting on the CT side as well, so a bit more comfort in that sense. Either way, we get into the pistol here. Heroic, they do indeed have the utility out. They've got the P250 raid boss in the form of Tessis, who T-Time was bigging up in a big, big way. Also, Crad as well was getting a lot of credit for Hard Legion's performance, and he's just hidden away in the pit, trying to spot out some heads, and he might just in a second, although they may also creep past him here, just because of the way the angle's working. But so much information coming in, the flank as well. This could be absolutely massive. He lands the first shot, and no idea here. Stauner has no clue. Oh, goodness. An awkward pistol to start off. Cadian now the only one left. Almost caught reloading there. Rage, though, is kept alive and will finish him the second time around. So pistol goes the way of Hard Legion.
Yeah, just a cheeky little setup. That player's so deep in pit. The only way you clear that is if you intentionally throw someone in pit, or if Crad peeks up himself. So well played from Hard Legion to just get that bait. It works as intended. The rest falls into place. And that's a big pistol for Hard Legion. Heroic gonna force up, as most teams do if you don't get the plant. And it looks like they are just gonna try to force long, try to force some kills with 3 players. Hard Legion do have 3 of their own here. And the smoke will hamper things. They're going to try to do the wall of smokes on long, try to take the fight with the pit player, but there's a gap in their smokes, Heroic. Are they going to try to cross the pit? I think they realize there's a gap. They'll take the first kill. You could still jump in the pit. Canadian's right in doing so. Given some nice engagements at range with the Deagle, but has to still play it safe. Damage has been dealt to Heroic, Screv, but you know what? That's a rocky start for Hard Legion. Heroic are taking the hard read. This is a very fast and pace-setting round.
Outside B, Forrester has to be very, very careful here. Kinky and Crad, though, going to move in through lower tunnels. Not going to be spotted by Cadian either. Okay, the second one will, but the first definitely not. So time of the essence here. They're not going to check Forrester either. He's only good for one, but Kinky gets the straggler at the back end. I think the bomb plant will come in here, which is a nice achievement for Heroic. Tessis as well coming in with the FAMAS. Actually secures them a man advantage now. Meanwhile, Cadian is over on the back end. It's technically just a 2 versus 2 in on the site, but Nico up close with the Deagle is able to find them both. And there you have it. Heroic will win the force by a nice opener, nice mid-round call, and a really good finish as well. That is what we were talking about here. The mind games coming in from Heroic.
Wow. I mean, they even mess up their smokes, but they're still given that one-on-one. Force those players off of long, choke them out of information. Heroic have to commit a couple players over there. And obviously now it's the counter force from Hard Legion after an embarrassing round, unfortunately. The pistols find the weaknesses. They find the gap in the armor. And it is just the scout from Rage. Double tag, though. That's promising. That's a great start. It makes it so these pistols only need one... Well, the Deagles only need to hit one shot on these players. And this Xbox smoke still doesn't get that player out of the cubby alive. And another tag. They need to stop peeking him because he has softened them up. Kinky has an easy chance for 3 here. Gets the first. That is the M4, and he's going to go for more. No one's looking. They don't even expect him to jump in. It's Kinky. Of course he'll go for more. Oversight from Heroic. Kinky will claim it. And it's already going to be a game of games. I can already tell, Scriv. It's going to be one of those.
Certainly a messy one to start us off here, perhaps on Dust 2. Until one of these teams is able to find a bit of stability. I mean, not losing a single player in a round like that is pretty massive. Kinky in with the 4K as well. I don't know how you can't respect this, though. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's an absolute mess from Heroic there at the double doors. I feel like they needed to move off of their mid push and get that trade nice and quick. Unless, like, I don't know, the guy on short didn't know where he died from, but that would be so weird. And now in with another force from Heroic. Not looking too good, but they do have the Galil and the AK to work with. A load of Deagles as well, and they've done better with worse. Nice flash coming in. Going to force the scout off the angle. And now getting those mid-smokes down as well. Going to try and make the B-bomb site work. Cadian will go down on the other side of things, but it does appear he's going to be having a nice little lurk in this game. And Nico with a quick trade, but Forrester's still in at the double doors. We'll find all the kills. Down meanwhile up close. He does get one on the Deeg, but not able to spin around fast enough. Hard Legion finally seem to indeed have found a solid foot in the door here, stringing a couple together.
Wow, wow, wow. You know what? Starts like these are very interesting because Maniac and I had a conversation that said the first half almost doesn't matter anymore with the way money works. It just depends if it's a blowout. So Hard Legion coming out, winning the pistol, losing the next, and immediately coming right back. It sets them up to make some money, to get their economy in a decent way. And more importantly, it doesn't really give Heroic a chance to build that loss bonus, because you win pistol, you go down to 1400, and now you can see what they're looking at. So Hard Legion should be able to put a bit of a buffer between them. This round, a little messy, if we are going to be very honest. But with Savant's positioning, you should be able to catch Tessus here in towards the middle. And in fact, he catches Nico first. Tessus will be next. Good dink, but that's it. Savant. Or Stavin, I suppose, if I'm going to be casting him, I should say his name right, huh, Scriv?
I think, I want to say it's like down is the way you...
Down.
I think so. Pretty sure that's
sounds
the way
even better.
it
Okay.
goes. Little
That's
easier to roll
I'm
off the
assuming
tongue, I guess.
that's down. It's probably a Danish thing when it gets changed to Englando. I like it. I'm all for it. Hard Legion just lose the SMGs this round, so no problemo. The buy from Heroic can come in, and I think it might be Opolis, which kind of sucks because you kind of want to get that out early on Dust 2, especially if you're Heroic, where it kind of fits into your playstyle nicely, where you can kind of... The Heroic's strength is either early on defaults and towards mid-rounding. And if they don't have that strong op presence to get them picks and work into their mid-round, maybe in some trouble. And Rage seemingly feeling it today, Scriv. He's looking for all the early picks. And a confident Rage is really good for Hard Legion, but not so good for Heroic.
Yeah. Oh, okay. A confident Nico, though, is
right.
Pretty good for Heroic, not so good for Hard Legion. And definitely paying off in this round. See whether they're able to get anything off of that, though. Heroic with a nice little opener. They do indeed need to make it work. The round's starting to escape them, but now that the economies have evened out a bit and there's a bit more normality here, should, in theory, be a bit easier for Heroic. But really slowing things down, and Rage has moved. He's feeling that the B-bomb site is going to be the port of call, and it will indeed in just a second here. What's the plan, though? Are they going to throw any utility? I would hope so, something. Just waiting, ultimately, though, as you can see, for aggression to come their way. It's just not going to happen. And now they've really allowed a solid VSAB to come in. Kinky, meanwhile, in the mid-cubby is able to get one shot being missed by Rage, and next time he pops up, he goes down. Meanwhile, though, Forrester's up close, using him as a distraction, using him effectively, only good for one. Kinky needs to go huge. He will indeed. Picks up two. That makes it much more doable now, but it's still a 1 versus 1. Sviat coming in from behind. Nico on half HP, very unsure of where he's at, and just going to plant out in the open sphere. The timing is perfect for him. 5th round for Hard Legion, a lot closer for Heroic, but nonetheless, they will pick the round up.
Well, alrighty. Kinky just on the off angle, able to spray down 2, nearly the 3rd. Pavat gets some great timing. And Hard Legion, keep it going. No plant, no extra injected money. Heroic, back to the pistols and a couple SMGs. They're going to try to force out long. That nade's going to suck. The Forester pushing forward. He'll get shut down by Tessus. I don't see anything else being found here by Heroic. Maybe Nico on this M4, but with Crad going wide, they should just mop it up. And it's just down. Remaining. That time I said his name right, but it didn't matter. It's a round that doesn't matter. Hard Legion gets 6. Heroic will buy. But Hard Legion on their CT side, since SGs have been removed, a lot of CT teams are getting a couple more rounds. I still think this map is a leaning towards T side just based on how it plays out. Without the SG, though, less so. I'd say it's more 60-40. But I think Heroic need to start to get on the board here. And this Dust 2 pick surely is looking comfortable for Hard Legion early.
Yeah, definitely. They're confident in it, right? We've all said that the nuke is going to be really hard for them, and etc., etc. But all the same, their game plan is solid on Dust 2 so far. Heroic on the back foot early on, which I don't think we expected it to be so much so, particularly after they won the Force buy in that second round. It's the only round that they've managed to pick up. Once the rifles have come into play, Hard Legion have looked very dominant, so really interesting to see that it has developed like this, and Heroic as well, I think, going to be feeling that. Bit of noise made in at middle here. Borup dropping down, going to go walking in. Forrest a little unsure, the smoke about to dissipate as well. Timing going to be everything, gets around the corner, but they might have enough room to work with. Mid to B smoke's going to come in. It is indeed a solid mid to B here. Flashes over the top as well. Forrester hidden away, easily dealt with by Borup. Kinky, meanwhile, in on the site. Good for one. They're all charging through the smoke. Oh, no, not like this. Oh. My goodness, Kinky spins around to get the 3rd as well. Absolutely unbelievable. And Cadian is in a 1 versus 3 on the AWP. Fakes out the bomb, but they ain't taking no chances. Molotov will go in. They'll wait for this flank to come into position. Hard Legion, or rather Kinky, with a perfect performance in on the B bomb site. 7-1.
To quote a commentator from your neck of the woods, I can't believe he's done this. How does Kinky do this? He spins around. He gets all 3 again in the open. Hard Legion are just fighting in the open. No fear whatsoever. By the way, the reference was D-Man. I'm sure you got it. Maybe others didn't. It's been a while since you've heard D-Man on the Counterstrike mic. And it's an opening pick from Hard Legion. Heroic are like, you know what, we're going to force B. Take the fight to them, and already the trades are not going their way. The counter flashes over the top, and it is just on lock. No rocket jumps required, but Hard Legion are just shutting things down. Heroic seem to be in a panic.
Yeah. Angry in that round for sure, you know, just wanting to go for it. Screw it, maybe the B rush will work, guys. But no, Hard Legion are super prepared. We kind of looked at it as a bit more of an even map, maybe edged towards Hard Legion, but Heroic as a squad, you would think. Hunden in charge, you know, you'd think. And for Tricked and into Mad Lions, Dust 2 is a pretty decent map for them. So definitely strange to see it be this one-sided so far, particularly, again, in the rifle rounds, you know, like the one round that Heroic have won is the chaotic one, the Force buy. And they've had rounds similar to that, though, with the rifles, where they find an early pick and then play it slow, rotate across. But Hard Legion are always ready, and their individuals are looking so good at the moment. It's really tough to fully break them apart, or at least consistently break them apart. I think that's what we're seeing. So strange, bit sad to see that Heroic are down in the dirt here, but credit to Hard Legion. Like I say, individuals have looked really good. Their setups are great. They've got some fantastic reads in terms of the rotations. Like this one here at middle is a really nice setup. But Heroic, man, just kind of disappointing so far.
Oh, certainly. Reminds me of the one time I went to a store. bought a pop, as we call it here in Canada. Some call it soda pop, some call it fizzies, some call it soda. Sending Borup to come support middle. They just heard Crad jump in mid.
Bomb plant going to be coming in. Eventually go down. They do have a fair amount of cash to work with, actually, so they could possibly hunt him. And it would be pretty big. Does appear we've got a player drop out here on the... Kinky is back in, though, so no pause required. He, at the very least, a chin with a Mac 10, looking to make money, make money! Only good for one so far, though, unfortunately. So, maybe not quite as much as he wanted. As well.
I think Heroic got me, but I'm back, Screw. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay, good.
They heard the reference, they didn't like it, and I got the message, loud and clear. Power company, yes, understood. I will not reference Heroic to Pop ever again. Crad on the site. Looks like I didn't miss much other than Heroic finding their footing and breaking Hard Legion's cash. Seemingly didn't take much, Scriv.
Yeah, well, that's the difficulty, isn't it? I mentioned it a little. It's like it was 7-1, and the nature of the CT side, keeping it kind of close in some of the rounds, finding 2 or 3 kills fairly consistently means that your money isn't spiraling. So they lost a couple, couldn't save the AWP, and then money is not in a good spot. And even into this round, it's in a pretty bad place as well.
Well, here we go. Pesses gets the opening frag. He's after Lubin, trying to escape. Gonna be able to find some VAT on top of it. Crad is full blind. It's just a one-man show towards long. Our Legion get the rifles back out. They try to force the fight, and the support flashes over the top seem too strong. And Forrester, beautiful timing, though. How does this fall apart for Heroic? They seemingly just overlooked certain situations and overlooked certain, wild man plays. Must be been a while since Heroic have played a madman like Forrester. Willing to take all the risks, take all the chances. And the bomb's going to try to go down. He even has the lineup. It just gets stopped by the box, and it puts Rage in a clutch here, Script.
Tough situation for him on the uncomfortable AK as well. No trusty AWP in hand, but the early peek, the pre-aim, is solid. Now into a 1 versus 1. Nico taking an aggressive angle as well. Beautiful stuff, though. Peeks in at the right time. And as he starts shooting at different spots, i.e. his crosshair is nowhere near him, he will take the peek out. And despite the heroics here that we see on the replay, Hard Legion not able to find it. Their grip has slipped somewhat. Oh, man, and their economy. It's so tough being a CT, man. Real hard life. Real hard life, for sure. And now, yeah, after a poor buy with a lack of utility, no AWP and whatnot, they're now on the Deegs. 157 in there, but you don't expect too much. I like this, though, playing in and around the smoke. Smear does get one, but traded back pretty quickly. The B-bomb site with him will fall as well. It was an A stack.
Well, Cadian, here's all these players in CT. He knows he's going to have to reposition after a shot. Nico comes in. Forrester with a nice D. Can't get the second, and there you go. Heroic stringing some rounds together. But right before I left, I said they needed to find their footing and get some rounds on this T side, because it is about 60-40 T side, in my opinion. I'm not a mathematician, but that's my guess. And they have done just that. Nearly brought it back to being as close as possible. And I believe I saw an auto sniper out in the mix. So 2 auto snipers and op. They're going to try to cut down the cross, and Kinky is gone. Ooh, the solo B player's dead. They'll pick up their rifles. Ouch.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Love to see it. If you're a Heroic fan, probably going to send some nasty tweets if you're a Hard Legion fan. Dirty auto sniper abuser. But all the same, Forrester is looking to bring it to them. Sphere as well is here ahead of the smokes. Nice Molotov to make it a bit awkward. It doesn't bounce properly, so they can't really work with it there. Damage through the double doors being done, but it's a man advantage here for Hard Legion to work with. And Heroic kind of thrown for a loop. They were really putting all their chips into that long push, and now working their way back towards short. But even then, Not quite committed to it. Nico, has he snuck in enough here? He might just have done. No, but the patience from Rage, it pays off. Shoulder peek after shoulder peek, spots him out, takes him down. And Cadian, he evened it up for a split second before losing his teammate. Meanwhile, Crowd on B gets a free kill. Should be the round going the way of Hard Legion.
It should be. With 30 seconds for Cadian to work with, has the bomb on his back. Crane and Forrester are low. It is looking like a 9-6, though. As Forrester over juggles his corner. He does. There's Cadian getting one. Does he suspect Crowd to be close? He goes to the Tech 9. That's the play. Peeks the corners appropriately. Wins that 1v1. Hold on a minute here, Scriv. And Cadian's going back. He's going to peek in the middle. He spots it. Cadian will hit the shot. That is not even fair. They give him the 1v1s. They make mistakes. And Cadian will say thank you.
Big round coming in. Really nice stuff. So we'll catch it here on the replay. Hard Legion cannot allow that to happen, you guys. Oh, man. Cadian, who'd been a little quiet, actually, for the half there. He was only on 5 frags before that. Pulls it all the way back. And his impact just insurmountable towards the end. But we'll see here. Really nice recovery coming in from Heroic. 7-1, by the way, guys. If you are just joining us, Hard Legion were 7-1 up and then end the half 8-7. So I think going to be a little disappointed with that, to be honest with you. Heroic really turning it around and now moving on to the CT side. Like you say, it's just about even. Just about as close as it can be without being even, right? This map at the moment. So I feel like Heroic moving on to their CT side are going to have a really, really good time.
Cadian peering into lower here. Langus player use the short 90. Short cutout, just looking towards top mid. And now he's going to slowly start to push top mid. I like this. 7. Gonna go with him. Stavoon. Awful with names, awful with memory.
Oh, good.
Or up on site. This is looking good for them, though, Scriv.
Oh, yes, massive. Stown comes in. Finds the first, forces the rest of the T's to move forwards, though, and they will do so. Overwhelming Borup. And now they're like, Lamau, joke's on you, we were going B the whole time. We'll see what Nico can get done. Only one. Kinky, meanwhile, pulling all the frags in. Crad hanging behind is able to get one, get the second as well. And Hard Legion will get the pistol on the board. Crad and Kinky doing all the work. It will be the 9th for them. And yeah, Heroic, despite the flank, they get kind of outplayed, you know, because it's like flank comes in. Let's get rid of the main area of attack, and then they realize the B bomb site is open and throw the CTs into disarray. And in all that panic, they're able to get the best of them.
I think the T side just fits Hard Legion's playstyle more. And why do I gotta curse everyone I talk about? I say nice things, and then the round starts very poorly for them. So I'll hang on to that thought. Estes tries to be a thief, but Crad is hot on their heels. They want to get the AK and get out. Crad comes through the smoke. Risky, may I say. But he catches them both. And now, Heroic licking their wounds. 2 players very weak. They thought they would have gotten the opening pick, got the AK and got out. Instead, they're in a weird spot with lack of information, lack of map control, no one towards A long. As far as they know, they could be out and about to cross. It's down, pushing into spawn. Now, I don't know if he's going to clear Forrester. I bet he doesn't. No one checks this. With just the Glock, he's just going to take his time, let his teammates know what's coming, wait for him to walk, and just go ahead and take the free kill. I heard someone type in chat. I bet that was a question mark.
Yeah. Something along those lines, like, what the hell, man? Where did you come from? Yeah, looking good for them here. They're just grouped up in and around CT on A. The smoke's actually a distraction. Cadian can't do basic KZ at this point. He's kind of lost motor function. And yeah, expecting them to go B. Unfortunately, gets shot in the back. Borup as well, quickly dealt with. Really clean stuff from Hard Legion. Only losing the one player. They'll be on their 10th round here. Heroic going to have to eco this one out. So it'll probably be an 11-7 scoreline before we see the rifles come into play. And yeah, Heroic, I think, going to have to very quickly, as soon as they do indeed get that gun round, pick it up. Because Hard Legion are getting into a position where they have a lot of confidence.
Yeah, very happy this is a full save. Cadian wants to get his op out. They may even elect to go to the double op on the CT side because that does kind of counter Hard Legion in their play style. Very aggressive, very interface. You can see that by this round as an example. It's just USPs, and they're willing to send 2 into the words of the meat grinder. They clean it up with the Galils, but I don't think Hard Legion are going to update those Galils. Rage will go into the op. Crad can get into an AK of his own, but I think Kurok may even just double op here. I could see him going for it. If not, putting Cadian into a spot to succeed. Getting full utilities on these rifles. I imagine him long or him towards short. Yeah, so he's going to go up towards short, double up with a rifle player. And this is good because Hard Legion haven't really been forcing long too much on rifle rounds or on big rounds. Obviously, it's the first rifle round, so it's hard to tell. But I have a feeling from watching Hard Legion before, their default is through lower, in towards mid. Heroic, I'm assuming, have watched a couple demos, especially with Hunden. And so they understand where to take advantage of this. And immediately, it's just a quick mid to B. Nico gets banged down. It's just Tess alone. He has to focus on tunnels and trust his rotators to deal with this window player, at least get some utility in to help him. He's completely alone, gets the first, doing his best kick impersonation until the man himself puts him down. And now the bomb can go down. It's down. Does he get the nade on the planter? He does. But he just can't connect the bullets. And now this is going to be such a hard-ass retake.
Oh.
And hang on. That was a weird peek from Rage. Down will take that all day.
Yeah, Kinky still beneath the window is so tough. Even in the 2 versus 2, it is so hard. Molly will come in. They don't have a kit available, so time is of the essence. Crad creeps around, and Kinky also strikes. Almost finding Cadian, but second time around, he will get it. 12th round coming in for Hard Legion. Looking very, very good here on the T side of Dust 2 to begin with. Heroic's loss bonus certainly stacking up on the max now and everything, but all the same, really, really tough time for Heroic. They're not able to get a solid foot in the door. That one comes kind of close, but even then, it was Hard Legion dictating the pace and in control of everything the entire round, really. Really need to be getting something on the board, and soon it's starting to get... Well, it's already in dangerous territory. It's starting to get almost impossible to pull things back, or at the very least, very, 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 very improbable. Yeah. So another timeout being taken. Don't expect too much into this. Maybe a few deagles, perhaps a little bit of armor in places. Indeed, that is what we're going to see. A scout actually out for Borup. So they are kind of committing a little bit to this half-buy, which is absolutely fair. But it's the rifle rounds. They need the next rifle rounds.
Shot for shot being had towards middle. And I couldn't agree more. I feel like Heroic had a good setup to get the quick rotates in. As Crad burns himself over half HP. Unlucky. And clearly, Heroic have been watching a couple Hard Legion Dust 2 games. They know that they like the passive long. Unless they have the God spawns. The op prods mid, and they work 2 and towards lower to mid. So Heroic understand this, as Tessus will find the head of Kinky. So look for Heroic to perhaps set Cadian up again towards short, or have him be the solo long player. We'll see. In the meantime, it is a flash setup towards short, and with the damage already dealt from Heroic, this round is still winnable. Hard Legion getting ready to drop a couple smokes. Forcer will lead the way. Down, gonna get a flash and go ahead and peek with it. Gets the first. That's all he could really hope for there, is getting one. And how do they clear out Borup? That's the question.
Falling apart. Molotov will go in. That answers your question, as it will indeed eliminate Borup pretty quickly. But I I feel like, yeah, the damage already been done. Another kill came in there for Tessus in all that madness. Rage left on low HP. Gonna have to go absolutely massive. Trigger Discipline does pay off. But he spins around. I don't think he's expecting another player to come in from there, but they pulled this back into a 1 versus 2, so maybe he does. And he will indeed take down Nico. Oh my goodness. What has happened there, Hero?
I think...
What has happened there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sold at the idea that Hero kind of got ahead of themselves there. The player running towards long isn't bad, but he just goes a little too early and gives that easy kill for Rage. They knew the Opera was still up. They understood that more than likely they're going to plant for long and he's going to head there. They even had rifles and armor because they picked those up. I think Heroic definitely had time to slow the pace down a little bit. And now Hard Legion trying to force it towards long. They got the spawns needed. And this time Heroic commit 3 players there with the support nades and the flashes. And they cut 2 of them down. Forces Hard Legion immediately into a cheeky mid to B. I'm not sure on that molly. I guess he wasn't expecting his teammate and Kinky to go that far forward. Nico will catch him. There's the double up I talked about. And this is exactly what Heroic need to do. Willing to contest, willing to take fights. They get lucky that they commit 3 long with all that utility while Hard Legion to get the spawn for it. And I think this double up might be too much for Hard Legion to deal with. So that, yeah, I don't know how the range on his knife, but I'm sure it's not as far as the rifle. As he gets cut down, and it's just Rage. This is a big round for Heroic if they keep 5 alive.
It could be absolutely massive. A bit of a catalyst, a bit of a turning point. Rage has got other ideas, of course, though. He knows that there's someone around at ramp, because, I mean, why would there not be? Creeping out towards car as well, but Cadian's on top of the car. Will creep out, takes him down. And there it is. Super clean round coming in. I'd like to see a pause here. Yes, let's go, Hard Legion. I like it. You know, you've got 4 to play with. You're towards the tail end of the map. Why save them? And as soon as you lose a round, take a pause. Figure out what you got to do. And look in that previous round and go, okay. We did get some good spawns. Just kind of turns out, you know, Borup had probably the sickest spawn going. And he was ready for us before we even got there. So that's a tough one. But maybe let's not rely on our spawns so much. They might actually decide against that in this round. Despite a pretty strong B spawn. If I was playing matchmaking, this would definitely be a rush B, guys. But they've got other ideas.
Certainly some other ideas. Hard Legion. Quick towards middle. We'll see if the double op continues to look good from Heroic. That's Hard Legion. Get mid-control, and there you go. The double op. Nico pushes up with the rifle. They realize Hard Legion are taking mid-control heavy. And now Hard Legion are getting into interesting ways. From previous round, Kinky wide swinging CT without a smoke, to now Savat getting caught off guard. Perhaps not thinking someone from CT would be there, but now they're in a weird spot. They've lost 2 players for free. They have no B control. They think the CTs have pushed through. They're going to try to take it out here towards the A site. Beautiful flash over the top. Borup cuts them down. Just Rage again. And it may just be the single kill. Hard Legion, their cash is depleted. It's gone. This was the buy. This was it. This was the round, Scriv. And Heroic have just slapped them down.
Yeah, really turned it around in the past couple. No AWP saved, no consolation frags at the end. Sure, Borup does get traded, but, you know, clearly did his work for that round with the spray. Now Hard Legion thrown for a bit of a loop. The gap begins to close. And it is starting to get a little bit scary here. Do have to be careful. Heroic are really starting to look good and picking up the pace. So Hard Legion next buy round, this needs stopping. Or your Dust 2 might just come under contention. Or maybe in this round. Maybe you don't need the next rifle round. Crad flying down into CT. Will pick up Cadian. One of the AWPs dropped there. Now he knows he's going to be a little bit watched. Great flash comes in. He will be traded, so there's no AWP saved. However, it leaves Stown in a bit of a tough spot. Borup, you got to bail him out. Forrester will make sure he's only good for one. Nice little flick from Tessis, though. Drops the bomb as well. And Rage now the only one left. Might be able to find a little bit of something with the P250. Down is low, but ultimately should be Heroic's round and disaster averted.
All right, they're in the double-digit club. They don't... Oh, they do get the second op. Woo! I was going to say, I don't think they're getting it back, but they did. They dropped the AK for it. The second one, that is. And there we go. No op for Hard Legion. Nothing in at Rage's hands, who, by the way, has had a quiet half, all things considered, on the T side thus far with his op. Granted, teammates falling before he gets a chance to work a pick. But the double ops from Heroic will continue to roar as they'll take cat control. They'll keep Nico towards mid. You can see very mid and cat heavy. This is because they're countering Hard Legion's default. Will there be an answer from Hard Legion? Crad with the first kill this time round. Both ops towards CT. Beautiful fight for Crad to take. Can he win them both? Nico's still peeking. Nico will finally fall, and Hard Legion get the clean entries. They get the kills. They send Crad up short. Heroic had a perfect setup to counter it. But then when you have both ops in the same spot, rotating up ramp in a rifle position, it just does not work.
On top of that, I think Crad has had the best luck of his entire CS career in this round in terms of some of the timing. Not over yet. However, the player in at T-Spawn, he has got other ideas. Nico going to have to do everything and not fancying it. He picks up 2, just going to save the AWP, play it smart. It'll be a 14th for Hard Legion coming in. And that will be that. But yeah, Crad, for the first frag, gets brilliant timing, right? That player just pulled... Ooh, Nico. Nice stuff from him. Does take down the man of the hour, but all the same. Just creeps around the corner as he pulled the molly out, right? And then pushes ahead of the return Molotov. The 2 CTs with the AWPs, as you say, are in a difficult position for them. But they also were like, okay, that molly's in a good spot, guys. We just put up a brick wall. And you got to remember, not quite how it works. And Crad was just ahead of that Molotov, you know, and able to find one, put pressure on the other. So some really, really, really good luck on his side, you have to admit, but all the same, he uses it well and pulls Hard Legion into their 14th round here.
A really big round here. Both teams' money means someone's going to have to take an eco after this. Someone's going to have to take a risk. And it's Tessis in towards CT. A good trade out from Kinky. It's unfortunate. Blocks remain offer. Borup goes for the refrag towards short, and his bullets get eaten by the hungry wall. As Nico now refrag after refrag, trade frag after trade frag. And it's advantage, in my opinion, to Hard Legion. Equal man advantage typically helps the T's unless they force this smoke. A flash over the top, easily dodged by Nico. It's just too easy. I don't think Crad will make the same mistake, but Nico's taking pod shots. Here comes Crad. He actually hits the shot. What is this round? It's madness. Cadian peeking, easy shot, cut down by Savat. And now it's down all the way through through T. Savat gets the bomb, and he may just run it A because he suspects it's a quick flank because he came through mid. Reads it appropriately, but this is just madness.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's happened in this round. To be honest, it's Hard Legion's brand of Counterstrike all over the place, and it is going to take a little bit of time for Stan to go, hold on a second. Where's he gone? Definitely doable, though. 23 HP, pretty low. Ooh, I like this from Sviat, though. Going to use the time to his advantage, clear out long, move up short, change positions completely, and Stan might not expect it. Has he heard him? I think he might just have heard him there. The molly going in towards short, and well, Sviat can't really do anything for the foreseeable future. Smoke going to go down onto the bomb as well, which I think makes life very difficult, and min-maxing as well with the angle. Oh, Sviat, though, finds his head looking towards the floor and defusing, making his hitbox as small as possible, but it doesn't matter. 15th round for Hard Legion.
Wow. It's looked rocky It's looked shaky. Hard Legion's default has been getting countered. They've been losing rounds they shouldn't and getting picked and playing very individual. But they've stayed in the game. They've stayed strong. Letting Heroic get upper B control here. As Crad concedes this. Lets it happen. The response is to take long. Do they check first down? They can't let their own trick happen to them.
Surely not. All quiet here. Hard Legion do not want to push in. Do not want to give anything across to Heroic, particularly when they've got very little information to work with. A man down and in a bit of a tough spot. So I'm going to creep out. And he will see no one. I think he has a bit of an idea that there was definitely some presence around here. Rage, we're going to get spotted. Beautiful stuff. Stan will take him out. Crad now got to be careful with the bomb in hand. Okay, goodness me, what's going on here? Stan jumps across, gets himself an AK, and now makes life a little bit more doable. He's also called the cavalry of Cadian. With only 30 seconds left, Hard Legion are in a bit of a tough spot. Big nade damage coming in as well. 5 on 3, not looking too good, but Nico going to get caught off. Sphere just ahead of the Molotov once again, and they have the smokes available to go for the B play, but will they expect Borup in the tunnels? That's the question. Oh, it doesn't look like it as he manages to get one, but he's traded back. Not much time. He gets the posthumous Molotov in, though, that surely wins the round. It will indeed. Tessus to just solidify and seal the deal. Heroic straight back in. 4 more in a row.
Yeah, I mean, look at this buy from Hard Legion. An AK, a Galil, and Heroic with everything they need. I mean, they can run this back because keep in mind, Scriv, this obviously is everything Hard Legion has in this buy. Their loss bonus is not going to be there. It's not going to be built up. So Heroic have a strong possibility of getting 2, nearly 3 rounds for the price of 1 here.
Massive. It is pretty massive. I think Hard Legion know it, right? They're a little uneasy. You can kind of feel it. Their energy has definitely dropped a little bit here. Not quite as aggressive and confident as they've been the rest of the game. See, though, as the utility comes over the top, a few shots missed by Cadian. Not really able to find too much as yet, and the bomb's going to go down, but the Molotov comes in. Sphere trying to jump away, not going to happen, and surely should be an easy retake here for the CT side.
Yeah, this is going to be a little difficult. They went out the trades. Good thing they had at least numbers. It was difficult for Hard Legion because you have to keep in mind they didn't have much out of utility, kind of in the open, so Heroic make it work. They maintain 3 players alive is honestly a big deal going forward. And but that plant kind of means Hard Legion have cheated a little bit and can buy a couple upgraded pistols here and give themselves a fighting chance. Without that bomb plant, would have happened close to a full eco. We won't see any utility, which I can get a little bit out if they so wish, or just a Deagle Brigade. But hey, that plant allows them to get these Deags out, allows them to try to find a couple more kills, maybe make Heroic's buys in the future a little more painful, if you will. But Heroic bringing it right down to the wire without a doubt.
Yeah, making them work for it. Making them work for it for sure. And that's all that they needed, right? If they can bring this close and maybe even snatch it away, Nuke is kind of a surefire at this point. Unless Hard Legion have really been putting the practice in and are about to impress and surprise everybody, but Not too sure. Run boost coming in here. Good couple of players. Going to distract Cadian, but not quite enough. He manages to find one. He does get traded back there by Forrester, so dropping the AWP, you know, fairly expensive weapon, but I would imagine with the way things are looking, they clean it up. They save the AWP. Unless these Deagles can do something incredible, but not looking too likely. Yeah. Easy stuff in the end. Nice and crispy. 13th round coming in for Heroic. Like I say, the AWP going to be saved. This is where it really starts to matter, though. Hard Legion, loss bonus definitely stacked up. They'll be in with the 3,400 after this round. But kind of need to be getting this one on the board, to be honest, because 3,400 with a bomb plant is just about enough, but on its own, not really. So this is kind of where they need to think about finishing this map here and now.
Gotta happen. You let this go on too long. I think this is a round that depicts like kind of where you're gonna go. Are you gonna go to OT? Are you gonna close out your map? And what was a dominating start has been a run back for Heroic. As soon as the double ops come out, Nico's gone online, Katie and the clutch, but other than that, it's been relatively quiet. It's been the Tess's and Nico show. Flash. Cadian has to tuck in the corner. Borup is here. There's no counter utility from the CT. There's the molly from the support from the player on site, and they're hanging onto this Kinky. Coming through the molly will get the refrag, but he's so low on HP. Nades and everything, 2 HP. But this is botting. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's bought some space for Crad. And he's stuck out to green box. They have no idea. He hears the op. He's kind of waiting for the rifler to rotate back up. And there you have it. He'll get 2. 1. Nearly no. Nico's ready for some reason. And there's a good entry from Forrester. This may just be it from Hard Legion. What a play to creep in. Should have had 2. But now the retake is on, Scriv. Do or die.
Definitely is. Borup, I think if he had more HP, he would have gone for this, but with only 12, he has to wait for his teammate to get here, and Stan trying to not make that much noise. Smoke will go down. Borup doesn't spot anything out. Forrester, ooh, he knows where he's at now. Surely spotted his shoulder just then. Peeks out. Oh, they kind of get in the way of each other. Borup's like, excuse me, I'm trying to get a kill here, bro. Now all going to be down to Kinky. He's got to find both of them. He's left on such low HP. Can't get it done. And
Wow.
Stan, it will keep them alive for just a little while longer. A crazy round coming in. Hard Legion, surefire had Cadian dead to rights there on short. Not the case. Then it looked like Heroic had the round. Not the case. But in the end, they managed to clutch it out. Oh my goodness, as close as it comes. And like I said, the economy not great here. Even with the bomb plant, even with the max loss bonus, they're not able to get it going.
Oh, I am so flabbergasted. That's why you see a lot of teams throw more than one flash and double peek towards short, because if there is a bait and switch setup, there's someone playing anti-flash. You need to catch them looking into the second flash while you're swinging. Just oversight from Hard Legion. That plant secures rifles, doesn't necessarily guarantee the utility. Tessas may get caught towards fence here. But Forrester wants off. He wants to do it without making a sound cue. That is the move. And Heroic have just made one hell of a run back. Even with their primary op being silent, the secondary in Nico has been more consistent, dominant, and getting the picks he requires. Now this setup towards B is going to be so hard. Cadian, hearing this player in the smoke, doesn't want to take a pot shot in it. He's nervous. They're running through a molly. Not like this Hard Legion, getting cut down by the flames. Savant needs to find the rotator. He needs to do something. The smoke's starting to fade. Both ops are peering at him. Can he get one? No, he just overthinks the situation. Borup is still tucked in this corner. Rages towards short. Bomb is down. That's OT. Wrap it up. Put a bow on it. Hard Legion losing themselves, forgetting who they are in the last few rounds.
Frustrated, I think. So angry and annoyed. You can see it from Sviat as well, right? Like where Cadian is just teasing him, walking around on the edge of the smoke, but not quite giving him the angle, not quite showing his head. Very, very tough time. Cadian definitely quiet throughout the game, but I think stepping up in a pretty big way in some of those rounds, particularly in the second half, right? So really, really good stuff, but goodness me. 5 in a row at the end there from Heroic to take us to overtime, and now money not an issue on the CT side of things. Double up setup, easily able to pull that out, and the thing is, they've got the momentum, they've got the confidence and whatnot. Definitely going to be tough here for Hard Legion, but maybe they can bounce back also by having all the cash, get a bit of a mental reset going, and can kind of afford to go for a super fast rush round if they want to do it. Stown and Sviat, though, will meet each other on shorts. The 1-for-1 trade coming in, kind of working out for the T side, though, as we always say.
Yeah. Ideal. Get out one of the big heavy hitters, Stown, who's been having one hell of a game. Deal with him right off the rip. And with plenty of time left to work with Crad, not wanting to get caught off towards CT, he may just throw a smoke, try to take the 1v1 the player in towards the window or door. This nade from Borup, it's gonna hurt. Yeah, there it is. It will hit land right on Rage. Molly keeps them back. But get ready for an execute. Sviat is going to have a flash. Borup playing in towards Goose, hoping that Cadian can cover him and bait for him a little bit. Can Cadian get a pick and fall back and let Borup do his job? Cadian dodges the flash. Does find the head through the box. Borup set up beautifully now. The 1-2 punch. Crad may find the rotator. Hardly Legion forced to commit here. Rageful blind with a Tech 9. This is winnable. It's an op on op on op. A lot of scoped fights about to go down as Rage is curious. Cadian, I bet he's surprised that Cadian has vacated the long position as Rage looks to find them. And Heroic need to play together. Needs to buy time for Cadian to get here, does Nico. Nico making noise. Rage now knows Cadian's coming from short. Rage is going to post up on this. Nico's going to peek. There's one for Rage. He can play the long game now. He's going to go for the jumping op. Get out of this world. Gets the quick no-scope up. Rage is in a game of his own, and Hard Legion get the first round of OT.
Oh, that is heartbreaking for Heroic, though. Just taking way too long and forcing... You could see, you know, when the tap comes in, there's like 2 seconds, maybe just 1 to find the kill for Cadian. Man alive. Pressure getting to them a little bit. Panic setting in towards the end. And now a super fast round for Hard Legion. They found their mojo back. They're going back to what they know. Their old stomping ground. The rush out long, forcing Cadian off here. Ooh, okay. Trigger Discipline comes in. He actually lands that shot onto Sphere. Through, I guess, the pole there was kind of the only thing I think that could block that. Molly coming in, though. There's blind spray as well. Cadian takes a bit of damage, but he's able to survive at least for now. He's trying his best to stay alive. AWP shots ringing off around him, just staying safe at car. No kills as yet, but a pretty hectic start to this round.
Oh, Borup nearly gets 2. There's the nades. Down. Gets a headshot, and Hard Legion. We're getting kind of 50 Shades of Hard Legion. And I don't think it's in a sexy way, Scriv. One round, they seem very dominant and very forthcoming, willing to take the short control, and then it kind of fades away, and they go into their single peaks again. And it seems very hit or miss. At least it's not game by game, it's round by round, but you almost can't afford it in OT. All of the auto snipers gonna come out. Heroic are gonna just wait. They're gonna keep going. Nico gets lagged on the cross. Okay, we live in a crazy world.
Yeah, I mean, it's overtime dust too. They're going to go for it. They find no kills with it, though. Arcadian not quite able to find that. That's the trade coming back in for Hard Legion after a pretty good start for Heroic, actually. Nico, you know, taking a risky one, finding the early peak. But unfortunately, kind of nullified a little bit. It'd be nice for them to go into the second half with somewhat of an advantage. Great flash coming in. Tessus does shoot out, but not going to stick around. Backs away. It's actually Borup, mind you, but all the same. Oh, here we go. Tessus actually gets the better of Sphere. I felt like he was in a pretty good position to take that, but no, it's Tessus who comes out on top, and now a solid man advantage for the CT side. Stown got to be careful. He will get traded back, so Hard Legion definitely still keeping things kind of even. Broken spray down coming in here. That's the bomb. Rage, don't go down. Kinky, meanwhile, pushing forwards, finds another frag for the boys, and now an advantage for Hard Legion.
A little bit of a toss from Nico. The nade just lands short. Pressure's now on Tessus, who's essentially mollied himself off. He's lost his teammate, and now he's got to wait out his molly. They know where he's coming from. No utility for Hard Legion. Tessus was looting the body, seeing if there's a smoke in a pocket, maybe a flash on the butt. Nothing to be had. Rage is posted, and Hard Legion do get 2 rounds out of their T side. Beautifully done for them. Realistically, really could have been 3. But you know what? I bet they're happy with 2. They had an okay CT side, and keep in mind they don't need to win every single round now on their CT side, so they're doing okay.
Yeah, and I mean they stole one away as well, right? I think they're going to be really happy with the clutch from Rage, giving them a good chance here in the overtime. Really, really nasty round from him, in a good way. You know, the good use of nasty, like. Damn. But all the same, I think it's however it happens, getting the advantage is really, really nice for them. That one round can make all the difference. Heroic gonna have to pull off an incredible T side, and like you said, it took them a bit too much time to get going on their T side. It's been quite a while since they've been here, so it's hard to tell how it's going to go for them. Cadian as well has not been fragging as hot as pretty much everybody else on the server, and you need your AWPer on Dust too to be kind of reliable, particularly going into overtime, where it'd be nice to get some early picks at least in 1 or 2 of the rounds. We'll see here. It's real fast up short from Tessus and Borup, who are going to eat that nade alive and regret their decision to move up short together. Holy, that's a lot of damage.
Okay. Borup up short actually finds Crad. Surprised you stuck around considering they got the opening frag. Could have just given up. Catwalk. As Rage, though, immediately to look back for that refrag. And he's able to find it there. A nice pick. One they needed back. And a Heroic left with Tessus on 33 HP. And Savant gonna clear out short, so even a man up and still with short control. It's down, trying to get up towards Xbox. Beautifully timinged as he's gonna come towards short. No way he expects a player close. He'll get traded out. Man advantage continues for Hard Legion. Heroic now. Flash over the top, gonna try to take it up towards long. They're right in the sense they have an open sight. Question is, can they cross cleanly?
Definitely going to be difficult here. Cadian kind of feels it as well, right? Bringing off a few shots, and will make his way across. There's a bit of a deeper smoke. Comes through towards CT. He's got the bomb, though, Cadian. You've only got 10 seconds. This is a big risk, but he goes for it. Regardless of the fact that he ain't been fragging, he does not care, and that's a pretty big one to be finding, actually. The bomb going to go down. He's just hidden away right now. Tessus ramp left on 33 HP. It's going to be tough for him. The jumping shot coming in from Rage. Goes for it once. Maybe try again. You never know. might get a bit lucky. He's going to be the only one left now, and the HP does not really matter onto Tess's, so the 2 versus 1 going to be so hard for Rage. He's just jumping up and down, trying to get the no-scopes. Not going to happen, and Cadian in with another really big round. I mean, it's a difficult decision. It could have been a questionable decision to get aggressive, but sometimes you've got to be proactive, and then he just continues to frag. Really well done.
Yeah, he might not be getting these opening picks for his team. He might not be that consistent opper on CT or T side, but when they need him to step up and secure a round, he has been doing so. He has at least 2 to 3 rounds under his belt secured for Rook. In theory, he secured OT for them, and he has just been looking great. Now right to a B hit. Forrester's going to be in trouble. Dodges a flash, gets in front of the smoke, springs down 3-4 from Forrester. He is a true lumberjack, leaving Nico in a 1v5, and it happens in a blink of an eye. And Hard Legion, and should I just say Forrester Legion, what a hold.
Ay. Really well done. Really well done from Forrester, but you also have to look to Heroic. When everything is on the line, it's a bit of a weird choice to go for that. 4 auto snipers coming in, though. Nobody taking the chance right now. And it's set up really well. Tessus on the AK is over a B. I mean, he could have kept going. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite realize that they just didn't want to take the chance of the damage and risk leaving the B bomb site open. So they don't really get much done. Nice flash coming in, but Crad ready for it. See you later, mate. Thanks for the kill. Might just be their map pickup as well off the back of that early opener.
Wow. What a big scalp to find as well. Nico taking a risk. Crad will give up. Double doors. Cadian looks to work up. Taking that P with an op is risky. And Crad on the rail and the little off angle going to use the pit position. Even if he goes 1 for 1 here, it's beautifully done by him. Bore up, creeping up, clearing the angle. There you go. Crad 1, spray transfer to 2. Oh, he makes it look just so easy, like art. Rage finds a player in pit, and this may just be it. No bow required. I mean, they went the distance, Hard Legion. But they showed you why it's their map pick. Unless Tessus has a final story to tell. And he's starting to flip the page. Still has to come back and get the bomb. No utility to get out. They better not give him the fight, because he is so willing right now. And there you have it. Rage will peek in. 19 for Hard Legion. What a map to start this series off, Script.
Yeah, definitely had to work for it there. Really tough stuff for Heroic in the end, unfortunately. Crad just, wow. Super crisp there. So good to watch it again. But yeah, Hard Legion definitely letting it slip towards the end of regulation, but really picking things up. However, moving into Nuke, we do kind of worry for them. Maybe if they can just, give it their best shot, but not let it destroy them kind of thing, and then move over into Inferno with a bit of a fresh slate, could be a chance for them. But a really close first map sets us up for an exciting next 2.
Well, time will tell. Let's see if Ro can bring it back on Nuke. As you said, we're nervous, but hey, we'll let the players decide. We'll be right back after this break.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hard Legion up against Heroic. An absolute slobber knocker on that first map. It was a really close showing. Hard Legion, though, just about edging it out on their own map pick, which we had said multiple times in the pregame, in the map itself, that it was kind of required for Hard Legion to win the series, because ultimately coming into Nuke, it's going to be a really tough time for them. They just lost the knife as well, so Heroic are going to have everything available to them for one of their favorite maps at this point in time. Going to be really hard for Hard Legion, but they now at the very least have that one map cushion to rely on.
Very true. I mean, Dust 2, we said that should be their map in the bag if they want to take the series. And now you kind of have to go up against two maps that are perfect for Heroic. Nuke, obviously, being the first, where Heroic can be able to work around the map. It's just a beautiful symphony-looking kind of performance. And then if Heroic take Nuke, which, let's be honest, looking like they may, based on just recent performances and Hard Legion not playing the map often, then you have to play Inferno, which is a similar paced map. Difficult T-sides. Hard for both maps are very difficult for the oppers to get picks on T-side. Inferno, the hardest map to be an opper and be effective on T-side. Nuke, opportunities, but still very difficult. This is going to be an uphill battle for them, Scriv.
Well, we'll see moving into the pistol what they can get done here on the Hard Legion side of things. Whether they have indeed been working on it. We did question them leaving it open, honestly. And, well, we're beginning to see why. Tessa's, clean headshot coming in. Nico, though, looks away at the wrong time. However, Forrester, he doesn't really want to go any further than that. He's really unsure how many they have in and around the A bomb site, just using the positional advantage that he has right now at the top of heaven. Maybe trying to catch some players off guard. Nothing really coming his way, though. Meanwhile, Sphere has moved down, spamming away into the vents. Maybe trying to distract here, because there's players all over the shop at the moment. Crad up high and Mini going to get taken down. 4 versus 3 now coming in, and the rest of the boys going to start moving in. Tess is ready for Forrester, will take him out. And again, becoming harder and harder. Rage on the P250. Oh my goodness, going to get clapped. I thought he was going to get that trade, but no. Stown in with a really nice finish to the pistol, and Heroic will indeed get it on the board.
Can already see they're fitting in nicely, even though Hard Legion had like the flank. They got through hell. They had a player in ramp. Heroic just comfortable on this map, settling in beautifully. Hard Legion buying what they can. Deagle's a scout. He's kind of buys on Nuke. Don't work too often, but we'll see. Yeah, tried to get down vent. No success. As the scout out here from Cadian does get damage, he'll go down, but it seems like Stown should be set up for success. Mini with an M4, it's going to be so hard for them to overwhelm him. He is actually going to get jumped in on. Right when he moves positions, Tessa's going to have Forrester creeping up. Jumping up on the barrel, good spot from Tessa's, that's exactly what they need. And I think he just wants Cadian's utility. No money goes to waste.
Every little helps. Crad will actually manage to catch off Nico, though, so... Ooh, starting to look a bit more interesting, but Tessis ready, having a great game so far. 5-0 in 2 rounds. That's pretty nuts. Kinky, though, has made it onto the B bomb site. Might just be able to get a bomb plant here with the smoke down and no one around to stop him. So, a small achievement there for Hard Legion that's going to make life difficult in the future. Tessis a little broken on the spray down, but will manage to take him down. 4K for him. 6th of the game, by the way. And the second round on the board for Heroic.
It's a shame, really, because if Hard Legion just buy upgraded pistols in the previous round, because what you've been seeing a lot of teams do, or some teams used to do, and I'm surprised they don't do this still, is you don't fully commit after losing pistol because you're already 1 loss bonus ahead. You buy just upgraded pistols. If you get the plant, you can buy next. If not, you get 2 upgraded pistol buy rounds. So I'm surprised more teams don't do that, because to me it's the more optimal way, where you get a plant, you buy fully. You don't get a plant, you still get another round of upgraded pistols. His teams have a bit more confidence in themselves than I do in them, but I'm just playing the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. In the meanwhile, in the vent, I don't want to know what that was. Let's forget it happened for Savat's feelings, because I think he Goomba stomped Nico and then tried to knife him. It got a little weird, but this round should be easy. No knives should take place, as Heroic should close this one out.
I mean, you say that, they've taken a fair amount of damage on the exchange on A, I believe just through smokes at Squeaky Door. Just kind of spams back and forth. There's definitely room for some of these deagles to upset, particularly in the hands of this man, Forrester, who... Not the flashiest of first maps, but definitely was looking good. Pretty high up there. It was Crad and Nico with the highest ratings, but Forrester was not far behind at all, so you never know. However, as soon as this window breaks, Tessus is going to know what's going on, going to call for a bit of help, might not even need it, as they are just holding things down cleanly enough. Now into the 5-on-2. Now we start to say, yep, should be a surefire round here for Heroic. Forrester spotted out, Forrester tagged up a little. Spam coming in, Chase is on, and there it goes. He peeks round, gets taken down. Flawless round coming in for Heroic. Hard Legion, then first rifle round needs to get a foot in the door early because Heroic are looking good so far.
Yeah, they're maintaining their weapons, building that economy early on. No op for Hard Legion. It's funny. It's kind of like we've taken, like, Scriv, when old economy, you win pistol, you get 3 rounds. We've kind of taken, like, 2 steps forward to where teams were only getting 1 round for the pistol, and now we've taken 2 steps back and reverted back to giving up a free round. So interesting trend as it comes to economy, but the rifles come out. Hard Legion get the first pick. A good refrag could come in from Katie, and the nade does damage. He hears Kinky drop in towards outside, and he knows that he is behind him, so he's gonna just take the off-pace fight against Rage, not expecting Katie to go for that deep fight, and then turn around and deal with Kinky. Well played from Katie to get that opening frag back. Tessus has to be careful towards ramp. He knows how explosive they can be. So yeah, risky. Katie rotates in towards ramp, and this lockdown may commence.
Oh, and Tessus watching the wrong side. Gets caught off guard there. This has suddenly become a lot more doable for Hard Legion, but Nico creeping in behind. We'll manage to find one, and I think he might have an idea of where the second one's at. Crad now left in a 1 versus 2. No utility at all to work with. Just going to have to rely on his quick wit and his quick aim. Hidden in behind the silo, though. Spots the molly coming in. Knows that there's one at control room. Where's the second? Okay, nice and smart as he gets them both. Makes it look easy. And clutches up for Hard Legion. They'll get the first rifle round on the board.
Wow. I mean, even with Cadian's play, leaving Kinky and Island, taking the fight up forward, then dealing with Kinky, it's Crad to clutch it out. Beautiful headshots. Beautiful play around the silo. He is a beautiful man, making beautiful plays. As Cadian does crack out the op in towards Mini, peering in towards door, which is already open for him. Hard Legion. Some outside control. Fighting behind the smokes and utility. Cadian's now peering into lobby. Maybe gifted to kill. Here's the rotates coming in. Both players are actually taking a fight towards ramp. Tessus falls. Cadian's in a weird spot. He waits for Sound to come back him up. Cadian, a missed shot. Can't miss those. That's the bomb. And they may like to give this up, but board up's here. They can fight for lobby control. Another missed shot. Cadian goes back for seconds. And there's none left. He's left hungry as Rage. Allowed to get in through Mini for free. Borup's locking this down. Kinky is getting, or excuse me, Krad's getting flanked as Kinky comes up vent. They immediately all look towards Mini. Or at least Down does. Kinky gets some good timing. They know where he's coming from here, Scriv. Can he isolate a one-on-one? Nico's gonna peek on Borup's contact. Borup caught on the ladder. Kinky won. Can he win this? The spray is just off. Heroic. Woo! Dodge a bullet.
Yeah. Definitely coming close there in the 1v3, but all the same, immediately back on the board, and making sure that there ain't no bomb plant. So Hard Legion going to be in with the pistol buy here, a bit of armor, a bit of utility and whatnot, but not too much to write home about. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, it's still not ideal. The nature of Nuke, though, does make buys like this a little easier to work with, but FAMAS and XM10, although arguably it's quite viable on this map. However, it's a really quick round. There's not much time to break things down, because we've already got a player in towards Mini. Are they going to respect this? I think just about. Stan's going to check it slowly but surely, and has the advantage there on the angle. Spins around as well to get himself, oh, not quite the third, but damn near enough. Borup making cash money. 3 kills on the XM10 and an upgraded M4. Thank you very much. Very nice round. And that's a lot cleaner from Heroic.
Here we go. SG on Rage. When you can't afford an op, you can always afford an SG. The fire rate might be lower. The gun might not be as deadly as it once was, but can still get some good use out of it. A wall of smokes, yeah, to walk through, and he finds Vent. He is like a blind squirrel finding a nut. Somehow finds the Vent in all the smokes. Not sure how he did it. Takes talent. As now, Hard Legion will lose him, lose Vent control, lose all they gain towards Squeaky Door, try to make it back towards outside. Nico's position is typically good for one because it's such a rare off angle. But it seems like Hard Legion have other ideas towards Secret.
Still, they're going to be tough with a man down here, to be honest. And I think it's known as well, right? Like, it's fairly well telegraphed that they've got 2 players at the bottom of the stairs waiting. And a smoke going in, it's like, well, great. Now what do we do? Crowd's hoping someone gets aggressive in Hut, not going to happen. Nico watching for the rotate back around. So they kind of have to go for this. Don't have too many options to play with. This is a really weird round for Hard Legion right now. Molly will go in. I think Crad and Forrester are going to try the ramp approach. Well, they don't have a lot of time. 25 seconds. Now 20. They really are not making much ground here, and it's really starting to worry me somewhat. Tess is on the rafters, on the catwalk waiting for them. Cadian will get taken down pretty quickly, but still, Tessus is around. Tessus is here, and he is fragging. He is unstoppable right now. The immovable object in on the site will pretty much secure the round for Heroic. Nothing too flashy, nothing too spicy, but he's just hitting his shots like it's target practice.
Well, we said Heroic on Nuke are going to be looking sharp. And, I mean, Tessus is. The rest of the boys getting involved where they can and where they need to. A good timeout from Hard Legion. I'm assuming they'll be talking quickly about what to do this round, but mainly about the following rifle round. Discussing, do we keep forcing Squeaky? Do we keep taking these fights in towards lobby? Is ramp open for business? What can we do towards outside? And right now, Cadian with his op hasn't had too many chances towards outside. It's been kind of like Nico and him trading back and forth. They haven't broken out the double op yet on Heroic, so I imagine Hard Legion may start working outside a bit more, trying to pressure Cadian, who did have a quiet game in the fact of getting constant picks as an opper and getting those opening kills for his team, more so in the clutch. So if they can deal with him early, catch him while he's flat-footed, and try to do something towards outer yard, perhaps there's a chance. But this round, it is just going to be about working the first kill, making sure you gain map control with very little, and hope Heroic overstep. And there you have it. There's damage to Cadian, 2 HP right off the rip. Gonna give some chase, and Krad's gonna find Nico and towards Mini with a scout. Hold on a minute. This can get weird.
Yeah, it definitely can. Rage gonna pick up Cadian, who again is not having the best of times. I mean, the frags are certainly up at the moment, but he does seem to be dying a bit too fast. I thought that was perhaps a suicide, but no. Tessus, though, got to be careful. I don't know whether he's going to be ready for this player up close. It does look like he is. And Tessus is just, you know, his spidey sense is really tingling this game. He's been playing very, very well. Out of his mind, to be honest. And now into a 3 versus 2. It's a much more doable situation. Tessus just...
Wow.
You can count on him to get at least 2 or 3 kills in a round. He's even going to spin around. He's going to get... No, okay, all right. Kinky will get him. Fluffs it initially, but all good. However, he's left on 15 HP. The round, I don't think, will come. They've taken down, you know, the raid boss, but unfortunately, they have not necessarily won the grand prize.
Not bad, though. They definitely need to do something before Heroic's economy kind of inflated even more of it until it got bigger. Because it was getting... If they would have won that clean, it would have been close to double digits for every player. Would have only had to buy up utility. Now they have to get some guns out, so it puts them back into reality, checks them a little bit. Still have a buy round under the belt, but it's going to be less damaging. Rage gets his op out. So yet to have a kill. Maybe him and Rage can get involved this round. It's going to be back towards Squeaky for Siat. It's a hard position to play. But they're just going to buy time for Rage to work the AWP towards outer yard. And Siat is just having no luck, is he, Scriv?
He's just not having a great time, to be honest. He's got his 3 assists, you know, but he has died in every single round, which is never a good feeling, especially when you've got no kills. So all he's done pretty much every round is lose gunfights. Oh, I'm not sure whether Nico spotted them. They definitely didn't see him. Tessus, meanwhile, double spray down. Easy as you like. It's all quiet, all, you know, very clinical, very cool, very unsure, and inches outside. They're not quite able to spot each other. And then inside, Tessus is like, excuse me, you are on my bomb, you know, you are on my ramp, you are in my position. Please leave. No time to be wasted.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of put up a sign that says no trespassing, please. And Hard Legion keep disrespecting them. They keep learning maybe why you shouldn't go fight him. 15-3. He's getting the kills he needs towards ramp and even having time to rotate and finding more kills. Hard Legion investing quite a bit in round 10. But with max loss, everyone other than Rage should still have a good buy next round. Wanting to put full trust in Rage here. Trust in the scouts. Let Forrester work with his AK, but you can see why I was super displeased with Nuke coming through in the vetoes and why I said Heroic won the veto. Even based on how close Dust 2 was, Nuke was always going to be a hard-fought battle. In the meantime, the Legion are able to get in towards lower. And Nico here behind the pit. Silo gets bopped, Scriv. Down gonna try to rotate. That's a big fight to win, but Hard Legion can plant this bomb and they can pick up another rifle, perhaps get into a decent post plant.
Yeah, there's suddenly looking a little more hopeful. Couple AKs in here. Tag does land there. Forrester has to go big. They get one. Gets the second as well. Beautifully done. That's Tessus eliminated, which is an achievement in and of itself. Borup not able to find any damage with the floor bang, I guess you can call it, but same kind of rules apply. Cadian as well on the AWP. A little far away. Will take down the player on top of the silo, but his position now known. The bomb too far ticked. They can't do anything other than the damage, right, is what they're trying to do here. Forrester, smoke onto the molly. He's able to make it out and make it to safety. But he's the only one that survives for Hard Legion. So they win a round, but you kind of have to look at what cost. They'll be able to get a buyout here. Thank God Forrester survived, otherwise they might not have been able to, but all the same, should be all good. It's just the future rounds, I think, you start to worry.
Back towards outside, Hard Legion. Down in towards Island. Nico gonna take an aggressive fight. I don't think they'll clear. I don't think they're gonna clear down here. I think he should be fine. Cadian's taking lobby in the meantime, so maybe he's gonna force them to come back and deal with him. He's going all the way through at such a disadvantage. He knows he has to make such a big play. Although they're a man down, they still have so much control. Does Cadian get blessed with good timing? Stown's moving. Kiki won't clear him. No trigger discipline. Gonna take the first. Rage is on an island, and Cadian's flank bears fruit. It gets to Crad alone, and Heroic pull it back. That is just Impeccable mid-rounding from Heroic. Hard Legion stall out on a hill in a standard car, and they slide back to where they began.
Yeah. Square one. Unfortunately, now Hard Legion's best friend, and kind of a bit of one of those toxic friends you sort of want to get rid of, but always keep coming back, and they always, you know, maybe convince you to hang out with them or whatever. But Hard Legion do need to get rid of Square One pretty quickly, because it's not going well. Oh, an attempt made, and actually an attempt successful there to drop down the vent, so that's certainly interesting. The rest of the team going to start pushing forwards. Crowdy gets 2 for 1. I think even he's surprised by that, and now the bomb plank going to come in. Hard Legion are bringing a bit of Hard Legion into this round. They're rushing straight in, getting aggressive, and it's working out for them so far. A 2-man advantage that they should definitely be able to work with. I don't see how they throw this one away. And there it is. Sviat comes in from behind, picks up Nico. And now Tessus and Cadian, with a bit of a brittle CT economy, have got a decision to make, and it looks like they are going to save.
Wow. Conceding this one. They lose the opening duels. Hard Legion able to sneak through vent, able to get down towards lower, get that bomb planted. Crowd with 2 big kills. And there you go. Hard Legion gonna get a 3rd on the board. And they keep 4 alive. Heroic. Money's all fine. But I would like to see Cadian be a bit more assertive in the early round. With Hard Legion face checking as much as they are, giving him opportunities. I hate saying that. That's my habit, Scriv. Every time I say it, remind me. Opportunities with the op. It's something. I need to get over it. But hey, I think I stand by my statement. I think Cadian still needs to be a bit more assertive, but it's been Tessus who's kind of been the assertive player, so maybe he doesn't even need to.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing a lot of the damage. The difficulty is, of course, you know, when he gets taken down even in the mid-round, you know, when things are even, it ends up being a tough time for them. Or where here he's kind of nullified in a sense. Sure, he's gotten a kill, but left low. Meanwhile, Cadian. Okay, bites off a bit more than he could chew. He does manage to get one, but pushes forward and goes down because of it. So looking pretty difficult here. 4 versus 3. Heroic do seem to have a pretty solid advantage, but it could definitely slip away from them here, I think, if Hard Legion come in with something a bit different and maybe get, once again, that trademark Hard Legion aggression working.
I mean, we saw that in the last round, coming in towards the upper site, taking the site by storm, planting upper, and then just forcing Heroic to not be able to make a retake happen. Rage in through minis. Down gets caught jiggling. He can throw the molly through the middle of sight. They in fact exchange mollies. Bore up on the heavens, though. Up on the rafters will not get checked yet. How do you get back into this? Tessus is low, but he's rotated over. 15 seconds. Borup's looking for every fight he can take. A big win, but the second one is just not going to follow. Nico's on the floor. He wasn't ready for that. Heroic get double digits. And although Hard Legion pressed the issue towards A site in the previous round, they cannot break it this time.
Yeah, changing the setup ultimately. And obviously winning some early duels as well. Heroic are just able to work off of that. But a slight change in the setup, I think, makes them less susceptible to the rush also. You can tell from kind of Borup's position, it's pretty difficult. The initial one, anyway, to even trade him. Not only do you have to move out space well, you've got to have your crosshair trained upwards, which is just really awkward. Really difficult for a lot of players to work with. But they are going to need, I think, to pick up these next couple of rounds. Easier said than done. Sviat, who, of course, as we've mentioned, not having the best time. Don't mean to keep pointing it out, but kind of have to a little bit. He's going to be on that Tech 9. There is an AWP out for Rage. We've not seen him pick too much early on. Difficult map to do so, but still not having the same sort of impact here as he was. Oh, Dust 2. That is unfortunate timing, but it's all good because they're encroaching from all angles right now. Okay, Forrester, though, Gonna pick up 2 very quick kills. That was almost perfect from Heroic, to be honest, to end the round there and then. But Forrester is the man they cannot quite get past, and who will keep Hard Legion in this round just a little while longer. Still gonna be hard. Still a 2 versus 2 with rarely any information to work with. Down as well in at Mini, gonna get spotted out, takes out Sphere easily enough. All gonna be onto Forrester to find the 4K. Into the 1 versus 1 as he gets the bomb plant. Does have a couple flashes to work with. Wrong kind of angle to be guessing. It's going to be Heaven, and he gets the positional advantage. Big round for Hard Legion as Forrester kicks Heroic right in the nads, unfortunately, with that.
Wow. The lobby crunch from Heroic was perfectly timed. Everyone knew their peaks. They work it out beautifully. And then they keep going, and Forrester just says thank you. Given 2 one-on-ones, he wins both those duels and ends up winning the round. Big play from Hard Legion. Those kills were critical. The lobby crunch was perfect, but they kept going. They kept going for more, and it just gets shut down. And Heroic's money is extinguished here. Whoever won last round essentially has an easy go into this one. So if Heroic would have won, they would have had the favorable buy. Instead, it's Hard Legion, who seem to be cruising for a 10-5, which is pretty average. 9-6, 10-5, 11-4. Kind of go-to halves for the T side. And Nico may get the smoke down, but actually gets a kill out of it. I think Kiki had him dead to rights, just didn't have the crosshair in the right place. And just like that, we sit in a 4v4.
Yeah, it seems to have slipped slightly, and they've got to be careful. These individuals have looked so good for Heroic, and giving them any kind of room to work with is very dangerous. There is the player outside trying to work the map control, but Stown up close. Again, crosshair placement pretty solid. Able to secure the man advantage. I think they just need to wait patiently. Rage has got such a good position here that not really expecting, they're kind of like half-heartedly checking it. As you can see, the trade doesn't quite come in fast enough. And now Stown is going to get overwhelmed. Should be the site falling. Sphere just running around everywhere. There you go. Will indeed manage to find Nico, and Forrester at the same time with the Tessus kill. 10-5. Not a bad result in the end for Hard Legion. It was a really tough time for them initially, as you can see. What with the 8-1. But then they were able to kind of back and forth it towards the end and get the 5 rounds, which is not a bad result for T-Side Nuke.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. Hard Legion, when they played aggressive, when they took the A site by storm early on, taking their early fights, Heroic typically gave it to them. And when they won it in those rounds, they're able to close them out. But for the most part, it's Heroics. Rotates. It's the way they play around the map. Passes towards ramp. Getting kills towards ramp. Knowing when to leave ramp and rotate and support elsewhere. And Rotate's kind of dictated that entire half. But you gotta say, Hard Legion, you're right, did a nice job of closing out the half, narrowing the gap a little bit. Again, 10-5, 9-6, 11-4, kind of where you land on Nuke. And they got to where they needed to. I think they'll be happy, considering, of course, how it started, as you mentioned. And now on the CT side, I could see Rage popping off. I know he only has 4 kills, but opping on CT Nuke kind of gives you a lot of opportunity. I'm doing it again, but I'll run with it, Scriv. It's okay. Every time it happens, I'm like, well, I'm saying it. But getting around on CT Nuke with an op gives a lot of chances to go towards pick, towards ramp. You can go sit towards heaven and just hold outside. You can go aggressive outside. There's a lot of picks you can go for. So keep an eye on that moving forward.
All right, here we go into the pistol. What have Heroic got for us here? Super fast A hit by the looks of things. Smoke's coming in. Bit of damage traded there onto Nico, but nothing to stop them as yet. Also got Cadian watching the back end. And the bomb goes down. There's no kit available here, Keith, for Hard Legion. Certainly interesting. Maybe they were expecting to find a few more frags. Cadian, timing not quite going to work for him on that jump, but he gets the fight. He wins the 1v1. Tessus, meanwhile, picks up Forrester. Going to be hard one. Tap from Borup. And Rage has got to do so much work, but he gets gooshed immediately as he comes around the corner. Heroic in with the pistol pretty quickly, to be honest, only losing 1 player.
Quick-paced pistol, quick-paced round, picked up by a Heroic. Hard Legion Interesting that they save here. I guess perhaps it's having to do with the round difference. Their buy is going to be a little light next round. It's a ramp stack. Handled well from Heroic. Seemed like they might have been in a little bit of trouble, but the SMG's falling after making some cash. AKs mop up the round. That's how you do it. 12 now. Hard Legion going to have to step it up. It's going to be just M4's utility across the board. Lacking head armor. Lacking kits. And honestly, playing C... There you go. Ciat is able to get a kit out, but no mollies. No early mollies on the CT side. Heroic will have an idea that this is a possibility and just look to apply pressure towards outside, bait out the smokes. They know they're low in utility. And you got to imagine Heroic have a perfect read on this round.
As they so often do. Crad, caught reloading, is actually somehow able to get away, but he's not dropped down. Didn't get any frags there. I think he might have been able to catch him off guard a little, but unfortunately not. Cadian outside. Gonna get taken down, so it's actually a man advantage here for Hard Legion, but another fast round from Heroic that's really hard to keep up with. The bomb has gone down. And now the individual's really going to come online, see if they can find any cheeky frags in the post plant. Tessus in an advanced position. Stown in an advanced position. Tessus resets, gets the headshot. And we'll look to back away. Forrester as well on 19 HP here from an earlier exchange. Spear trying to move down, trying to find the frags, but they ain't giving him nothing. Stown, meanwhile, will pick up Kinky. Nico playing kind of safe, kind of passive, maybe too passive. Oh, but he gets overlooked. And Forrester's on the other side of the map. Unfortunately not, well, the upside of the map, not fancying his chances at all. And a 13th for Heroic on the board.
Heroic just have a great read on the utility. Knew there'd be no mollies. Nothing to really slow them down. And they take full advantage of it. Forrester just saving that M4 over into this round. As Hard Legion will buy up some pistols, a little bit of utility. Nothing too crazy. Knowing 14 is almost put on the cards for Heroic. As they come out. Nothing shy. Nothing but shy. Or no, everything but shy, I should say. Let me reword that. Because they are just taking control, picking up the pace. And even around like this. Send one player down secret. Beta rotate early. Let Nico work. See if he can't pull the rifle down and be given that good on one-on-one. And as soon as that smoke blooms, they're going to go now. They know at least one player's down vent. They can cut that off. Kinky with a 5-7. Can he hang on? Molly down vent. Does get the one untested. But the player coming in. It's down through hut. It's all too easy for him. Rage gonna try to come up through the heavens. And this may just be considered a save from Hard Legion. Maybe throw a couple of the pistols who didn't invest armor into this. And just let Forrester back out once more.
Yeah, I think that's wise. But at the same time... Oh, they need a bit of a miracle here. I think forcing it is probably not the way that it's going to happen, though. Try and find some exits. We don't have a kit to work with, and the bomb so far ticked on. I don't think it's going to happen. Like you say, just the guys with the weaker weaponry could find something, but... Nah, Crad going to get traded back. Spear holding on the exit. Cadian 2 for 1. Rage did manage to find one with the scout before he went down, and Forrester will indeed save his M4, but... I mean, these are all great little consolations, great little silver linings. It's just a case of getting the rounds at this point in time, which is looking very, very hard for them. They also do not have a lot of room to make mistakes. So it's going to need a hell of a comeback.
Certainly has to happen. Double ops. Rage and Crad feel like this pace from Heroic leaves them open to be countered by ops. As Cadian posts right in towards Mini off the rip. Crad, cheeky little angle there. As Forrester chases down vent, will eat a bit of a nade. Knows Stown's down here. Wins that fight. So thank you for the AK. Bora not budging. As Cadian creeping out. Tess is close behind. They'll hear that. They know he's out squeaking out. Kinky will call that to his teammates. Borup, a big fight coming up. right when Kinky moves, though. Tessus creeps up. Kinky, I thought he would have been more aware. I thought he would have heard the scope. Thought it would have clicked that, you know what, I'm alone and they can push me here. Instead, doesn't take the 1v1, lets them walk out on site. And although it's a man advantage for Hard Legion in the retake, it gives Heroic time to set up.
They're not looking too good here. They're firmly locked out of the site. And we have seen Heroic win these kind of situations before, where they're a man down. Once they get into the post plant, they feel very comfortable indeed. Molly comes in, going to push Kaden into a bit of an awkward spot. Spots out the player ahead and misses the shot. However, going to try and go for it again, but they know where he's at. Spam coming in, but there's not really a lot of time to work with here, Keith. They've got to move in like 5 seconds ago. Oh, Hard Legion, it's an absolute mess. They had the advantage, but they just never moved in. No one wanted to push in through the smoke. And now 10 rounds required in a row where they did have a chance at this one. Oh my goodness, the lack of preparation really showing.
Yeah, and I think what really happened there is, well, you've lost the site. Yes, you have 4 live, but 2 of those players have ops. It's not like they can go get the Kinky's rifle. On top of that, I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Crad. I think he meant to left-click a smoke and smoke door. Instead, he right-clicks it and smokes himself out of Mini. So they can't help that Heaven player who's fighting. They're smoked off from Mini. The only choice is to save. Tess is opening up this site. Gonna be overwhelmed. Forrester gets traded out. So yeah, coming in from Heaven. No, down he'll go. And it's just Crad with an op. Didn't take Heroic long. Their nuke is deadly. And Crad, unless he can hit a couple more nice shots like that, he's going to be in some trouble. Cadian may get caught crossing here, but no, Cadian finds the headshot. Heroic 16. And it seems like my worries were correct when it came to nuke.
Yes, indeed. I think we kind of foresaw it happening, but there were definitely some big issues there. I cannot lie, Hard Legion. Really, really tough rounds to watch in places. And yeah, some of the players as well just having a really tough start and not getting the ball rolling. And hopefully Inferno is a bit better for them, because Heroic are on an absolute tear right now.
We'll see if Inferno is going to be better. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. That's the 3rd map after this short break. it's time for map number 3. Scriv decided to switch it up a little bit on the intro, get everyone hyped, get everyone involved. It's Heroic Hard Legion, map 3. We go the distance to the best teams in this weekend's finals. Well, finals run. Lead up to the finals. And we'll see who's going to make it through. I predict whoever wins this may go all the way. That's my feeling. And with Heroic winning the knife, they're going to start CT side. That is my feeling.
Big.
Yeah. Or did I lose my mind and Hard Legion won? Okay.
I think Hard Legion might have won it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
but
losing my mind.
You're right
That's
in the
okay.
side selection. So it's all good.
Yes. 50-50.
But I'm inclined to agree. I think this is, a potential final robbed away from us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a shame in that sense. But all the same, really, really close first map, I should say. And then the second map looking really, really good for Heroic. So we'll see whether that momentum comes through here onto the third. Starting off on the T side, we didn't get to see as much of it there on Nuke. But all the same, do expect big things. Bit of utility bought up. Once again, no kits for Hard Legion. They like to take their fights. They like to get aggressive. It might just work out as well. Rage just narrowly missing out on the opportunity to find a few heads early on. And it will be back down to the slow kind of CS that we expect from the beginning of Inferno.
Into brackets, slowly but surely. And Hard Legion, with Crad getting info towards B, is going to try to take this fight. That's a big one for him to win. With down gone, Heroic have real no punch on this B split. Hard Legion have a good idea what's coming, but Crad just needs to fall back, try to isolate a 1v1, do his best to get a kill. There you go, he's done his job. He's got 2 on the round. More importantly, he set up his team for success. All 3 are coming, or excuse me, 3 are coming from Banana, 1's coming from CT. Cadian gets a nice kill. Whoa, he gets 2! Nearly third. He let Cadian get away with 1. As Borup and Tessips look to group up. Siat is coming in from CT. He's low. And they're going to try to take the fight, and Borup not missing. Siat gets the first, tries to transfer over to Tessips, who's backed up, making this awkward. And there you go. Heroic win the pistol. Not the best start, but it's the finish they wanted.
Messy start, but they do indeed get it on the board. And that's kind of the worrying thing for Hard Legion. For sure, that momentum was looking so good on Nuke, and even towards the end, you know, it really wasn't doable for Hard Legion at all. I do have a player dropped out here, so hopefully just wait for Forrester to get back in. It shouldn't be too long. May have affected the way that the pistol went there, but yeah, Heroic, good start. It's kind of what they needed. Hard Legion, though, need to get a foot back in the door really quickly, I think. I don't know. They're a really tough team to kind of read into and to play around. But if they cannot get their feet off the ground, we've seen last week and into this week as well in the first game of the playoff stages for them. It's hard. I think they don't have much of a secondary game plan. Even then, when it was going well, they almost let it slip on Dust 2.
I feel like this map just suits Heroic's playstyle in this matchup a bit more on top of it all. Similar to Nuke in the fact of information rotates. Heroic are really good at getting information. Hard Legion are great at face checking, but a map like Inferno, the angles are tight. You need that support. You need that cohesion with your teammates. That may become a factor as Heroic look to put up a fight on their T side early. Hard Legion, obviously, I'm assuming, going to take a guess that they're not going to buy here, follow their pattern of losing pistols, CT side, not force buying. Seems to be the way they go. which is interesting that they do it on the CT side, where mollies and rifles cost more, but then they force buy when they lose pistol on their T side. It's just an interesting difference.
Yeah, it definitely does make a weird case, I think, but I don't know. I'm not sure why teams like to go for the force buy on the T side, and I suppose the weapons are a little bit cheaper, but it definitely does, make those early rounds a little hard. I suppose you can keep the economy of the CT side kind of pushed down, and then when you go into that first rifle round, you actually have like stronger weaponry if you've brought the other rounds close. But then surely you're force buying with the intention of winning. I don't know. It's strange.
Well, they buy up, so perhaps it's just depending on what half it is, and we'll connect this scout shot. Down is gone. And Borup creeps dangerously close to the smoke as Forrester snakes on off the hay bales and lands silently on the floor. Rage, looking for another kill, not gonna find it. Borup's gonna go on the flash. Forrester dodges it. Has to deal with multiple SMGs jumping in his face. Can't deal with it. Rage does get the tag on the cross. His nade is gonna be off the mark. Damage dealt, but no frag. At the right angle peak. So this retake is certainly on.
Definitely doable here. See what they can get done. I'm kind of working against them though, as they keep on waiting and waiting. The bomb ticking away. They don't have the kit available, so time of the essence, but they've got the frags. All going to be onto Nico. He manages to find the first, but now they know where he's at. They could probably get someone on the bomb. Crad holding the angle as well, but is there enough time? I think just about.
Wow.
The HUD thankfully highlights things, but that's a hella close round. That is a hella close round for Hard Legion. It's going to come all the way down to the wire. Oh my goodness, just about. They managed the force buy though. Good stuff.
All came down in the opening pick from Rage. Really kind of set the pace. Made a Heroic have to spread a little thin. Make them get control while being a man down and having to take some face checking of their own and taking the round in their own hands. Hard Legion now get 2 AKs out of it. They buy up some M4s. And Heroic with the bomb plant can afford to concede this round. And it's again a scrappy start. A throwback to kind of how Dust 2 started. Very back and forth. But the question is, will one team pull ahead now? Yeah, we're going to have to see another comeback to OT.
Right. It's the madness that beginnings like this can often end in, with the way that the economy is at the moment. A lot of conversations about it now that it's kind of at the prominence of the meta, right? Where we had the Org, we had the Krieg. They've both kind of been sorted into a more reasonable area. Now the economy is really at the forefront of what is driving these games and driving results. Nice easy one for Hard Legion picked up, not dropping a single player. Really good stuff, as they do need this momentum to shift in their favor, and it will do pretty heavily, right? You put the brakes right on when you win a force round like that. Heroic will be buying up. It's not going to be ideal, though, as you can see. Galil in play. Not terrible. Facilitates the utility. Scout still in the hands of Rage. No Orpaz yet. So we'll see whether that impacts them somewhat here.
Ooh. Rage is being very risky, and I imagine once Heroic can get an op-out, you'll see KD just post up on it. Look at the 1-2 punch. With the nades, the flash, and the spray from Crad, it claims 2 members of Heroic. Tessus and Borup gone immediately, without even a chance to fight back. It's down, hoping that someone from Hard Legion messes up and continues to take a fight down Banana. But that time has come and gone. Hard Legion with a 2-man advantage. And Heroic are left probably wondering what to do now.
I think maybe might have heard him step going for the peaks. Unfortunately, not quite able to capitalize, so still the 3 players remaining here for Heroic. Interesting they keep Nico on A the entire time. Doesn't even opt to get away, even though he could have done. Will go down. Will pay the price. Down will take down Crad. It becomes a bit more interesting. Sphere is hidden away at pretty much the same angle. I don't think they're going to be expecting him. Fake plant comes in. Cadian trying to bait him out, and his position now going to be known. Don't have a lot of time to work with, though, and the rotations, of course, coming in from all around. Kinky, I think, could finish the round here and now. Smoke will dissipate, yeah, and Cadian, only one left, is an easy pickup. 3rd round in for Hard Legion, only losing 1 player, looking good on the CT side, and now Heroic are certainly going to be thrown for a loop, having to eco, and probably going to be 3 rounds in the deficit. Not a good start.
Especially on a T side, you're not getting the plants, you're not getting the entries to the site that you need. It definitely puts a damper on how you wish to start this T side off. Rage, who is very quiet on Nuke, seemingly finding some unreal confidence. And after a performance like dropping 7 kills on the entirety of Nuke, you'd think he wouldn't have that confidence. But he's finding it here, Scriven. I think that's going to make a difference moving forward, because opping on CT Inferno is so good. A lot of fallback angles, a lot of great positions to be had. Kinky having to drop the smoke at his feet, will get caught. Crab, there's a gap in the smoke. Nico, in the meantime, finds Rage. That can become a problem. Forcer gets overwhelmed. He's in the open. These open angles are just getting punished in Hard Legion. Yeah, I hate using the word, but kind of yikes.
A little bit. It was cool for like a week there, and now it's kind of cringe, but it applies. It really does apply. And Crad's like, well, hot damn. What do I do now? Pushed up short, but like there's 4 of them. Yep, and there it is. I'm checking a couple angles, and I just get shot in the side of the head. Oh no. Oh no. Hard Legion were looking very, very good. Had a lot of momentum going for them, and then they have just let a round like that slip, and Heroic will give them a taste of their own medicine. Sure, they're able to buy back up into this one, but it's not ideal. And now Heroic are spurred forwards by a bit of, not even individual prowess, just kind of the whole team playing well around each other there, and some solid fundamentals working out for them, right? They get rewarded for the simplicity of what they were going for. Hard Legion certainly going to be kicking themselves. Just have to forget about the previous round, come into this one fresh slate, fresh mindset, and hope that they can reverse the hands of time.
I bet they can. They definitely have the weaponry to. Maybe lacking in the utility that they really could need. But they're going back to this boost for Kinky. Looking in towards Boiler. Tessus may eventually peek this, but I bet it will be with a flash. There it is. Not quite peeking fully into it. Letting Kinky stay up on the boost. Still, they don't know he's here. A good volley from his teammate buys Kinky some time. But Nico only really has to deal with the player below him. And then can focus elsewhere. Door up around the corner. Will find Kinky. They know he likes playing that position. He's done it before, but this time gets found out. Rage with the immediate refrag. And this round's getting weird. Borup, is he coming through the smoke on a flash? Waiting for it to fade, then they come through. Crad, beautiful timing, actually. Lucky to be alive as he escapes. Nico waiting for the player to rotate back to sight, and he will catch Siak. Forrester, only one. Great trades for Heroic. They break the site, they find the players, and this retake is utilityless and kitless.
Really not ideal, and they are not going to go for it at all. Do not want to trouble themselves with the retake. So Heroic solidly back in here, going to get themselves the 3rd round on the board, even things back up, looking great. Not super decisive, not completely flawless, but definitely in the driver's seat here on the T side, and Hard Legion were looking very, very good, and yeah, one little slip and suddenly they've fallen quite far down. A lot more work to do before they can get back up as well, because there's not going to be an awful lot of cash coming into this next round.
Well, they get the op out of it, Scriv. I guess a little silver lining. Did you know, by the way, silver is actually good at masking scents? So some companies wove it into underwear. Fun fact.
Interesting.
That's your fun fact of the day.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if you needed to know that, but hey, there you go. Expensive underwear, though, if silver's woven into them. Run boost across for range as he's going to look towards mid. Just misses his shot there. The utility from Roic. The bombing towards Sandbag. So yeah, Achille somehow squeaks out. As Heroic will just take the B site by storm. They know Heart Legion have been setting rage towards mid consistently. Avoid the op, take B by storm, and it works out perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair enough, though. Hard Legion, I think, can be kind of satisfied. They're going 1-for-1. Probably going to be able to save the key weaponry that they've got here. Although Rage is in a bit of an aggressive position, it could be argued. Not quite committing to the save, fancying himself a few kills. But yeah, looking pretty good. On the Heroic side of things, really clean up against the force buys and everything. But it's a little shaky for Hard Legion. Gonna need to get this next round on the board. It's starting to slip away from them a little, and Heroic, as we have seen, can really work well with the momentum. We saw it on Dust 2 when they took it to overtime. Saw it throughout the entirety of Nuke when they absolutely smashed them out of the park. And now we're starting to see it set in a little on Inferno. Hard Legion need to get their foot back in the door as quickly as possible. And this buy is as good a buy as any. The Mac 10, not ideal. The FAMAS, not ideal. But certainly doable. Or at least it should be here for Hard Legion.
Should be enough to get them through. Kinky playing a very aggressive angle in hopes to catch someone off guard. His deep smoke will separate him from Stown. And Tessus may get a fight he's not quite ready for, but jiggling, hoping Forster peeks into it. That entire balk is now spammable as Cadian looks to get a flash and peeking towards mid. Rage will be smoked off. The nade should land, and it will. Not as much damage as he was probably hoping, but hey, free damage is free damage. As Heroic, looks like they're going to be setting up for a fade back. They can either go back towards Banana, fully commit towards A. They've definitely forced Hard Legion back to the sites, though.
Rage, he wants to go for it, but against his better judgment, going to take the more passive angle. Crad, meanwhile, is going to be the one to peek around, and he just walks straight into 4 players. It sets up Rage to get 1, but he's quickly traded. Not worth at all. 4 versus 3. Forrester hearing players here, there, and everywhere. Cadian quicker to the mark. The A site falls, and surely Sphere and Kinky are just going to look to save. Hard Legion, not really enough coming in the early round, and then as the clock winds down, they don't quite capitalize on Heroic, like panicking or being caught with utility out. Timing just not there from Hard Legion. It's a desperate attempt to find a man advantage, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, Heroic have found themselves here, Scriv. No surprise as the T side opens them up to working some picks. I don't think that's enough damage. Borp may die. Tessus falls. Borp lives. And Savat, ooh, an upgrade to the M4 does get that back. And I think this is going to be a buy round. Savat can drop an MP9 over to Forrester, give him the M4. They're going to continue with the buys. They've hit max loss, obviously. Heroic, building some economy. You can see Katie and max money. Nico has cash. And I think, Scriv, Heroic have really started to find form here and getting the opening picks, fighting for banana control, and doing a nice job using a utility to really force Hard Legion into sites. And that's where Heroic seems to be thriving right now.
They're looking so good. And I don't think they show any signs of slowing down. Nice flash to get Crowd off the angle. I'm going to commit to A here, though, Keith. Look at this. It's a bit of a change. Rage as well, holding the crack angle. Trigger discipline not quite there. Dinky is found out. Nade goes in. Molly to follow up. I think he might go down. No, he has to expend a smoke. At least they know he's there, but Borik's like, for goodness sake, give me my kill already. I'm going to rotate back across towards B as well. Maybe they heard the two players at Arch. They've got a bit of an idea. Baiting out all the utility on A. Not really fancying it. Trying to switch things up on the heroic side of things.
Crad is here, the secondary up. And Hard Legion with a definite read that it's going to be a B hit. Crad on top of Coffins, looking for that pick. Secures it. Down, crossing the smokes. No one's in sight. Hard Legion willing to play the retank. Siat peeking right into Sound, and Sound realizes he can't move. Gifted the kill. Kinky peeked alone, and Hard Legion from first pick to losing the next two. And now Cadian can post with his op. Peeks into CT. Is gonna find Forrester and Rage. And Crad, both ops trying to find a way back in. Now Crad is legged up. He'll get traded. Nice shot in from Rage, but I don't know if he can escape. Tessus not gonna peek, playing the game, waiting timeout, and this is gonna be heroic, getting a 6.
With every single player dead as well. Really good stuff. Hard Legion cannot catch a break. It's been a very hard turn of events, and as you can see, the money for heroic is just out of control. They are absolutely balling. Hard Legion going to be calling the timeout. They need to figure something out and quickly, because it just really hasn't been working. A bit of a change up in that round, right? They play 4 on A. They have a double up setup. Does not work. Nothing seems to be at the moment, and it is early doors, but Heroic have really turned it around, where Hard Legion, you know, looked good, won that force buy and started to dominate in the rifle rounds. They then let it slip, losing against upgraded pistols and nothing else, really. And since then, Heroic have been on an absolute tear. Absolutely unstoppable, looking like very little contest from Hard Legion. So yeah, pause in order. They will only have the soft buy here, the light buy. Could definitely do some damage with it, but Heroic have been very good against these kind of buys, so you wouldn't expect them to fall flat to it. But it's that rifle round that we've expected them to talk about a little bit here and work out going into round number 11. It will be.
Thank you with a 5-7. I was gonna say I like his chances. Rage still flowing with confidence. Not bad. He's a confidence player. Good to see him have it on every type of round, but I don't know about CIS and European scorelines too much. I've been learning more and more about it, Scriv, as I am a North American guy. I do most North American stuff, but in North America, believe it or not, T-side is almost preferred on Inferno. A lot of times it's 9-6, 8-7, but T-side leading. I feel like for Europe, it's especially teams like Hard Legion and Heroic, who are a bit more in tune and a bit more talented. They should prefer the CT side. So the fact that Heroic are going to have 7 going into round 11 doesn't bode well for Hard Legion.
Yeah, I think you'd be right. It was kind of like a bit more even when the Krieg was in play, for sure, and now it just edges towards the CT side. It's not crazy, though. It's definitely not crazy on Inferno. But the nature of the teams, I'd definitely be inclined to agree that CT side is probably what they would prefer. Hard Legion particularly, they work around Rage quite a bit. They're liking this double up setup right now. You know, Forrester and Crad have been playing pretty well across the course of the series. And yet, here we are. Bit of aggression coming in. Proactivity is good. We always like to see it. Really, really fast stuff from Hard Legion, but unfortunately, not going to work out. Tessus picks up Forrester. Not sure if that was through the smoke. Oh, nice shot coming in from Rage, though. maybe getting ahead of himself a little bit. Cadian's like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? I was not ready for that. We're back into a 3 versus 3. Definitely a lot more doable here. The rotations have come into the A site as well, so suddenly it's starting to look a little better for Hard Legion, but Nico's got other ideas. They will chime in with a couple of their own. Unfortunately, it's not looking like it's going to be enough, but again, getting a bit overzealous with it. Cadian, though, the smoke works out just for him, and he's able to pick up Rage, but that's the closest it's come for a while.
So many opportunities for Hard Legion. It's just now Heroic have built up a bank. They've built up a lead. They're sitting pretty. And Cadian will eat a nade. But it's okay. No one's going to peek into it. Rage going to set up. Nico hoping someone from Hard Legion gives her life up, but they're going to be playing to these pistols. And Hard Legion gambling a lot of times with 4 players towards A, rifle rounds, ecos to boot. Heroic have been taking brackets while taking banana, which means there's less players taking brackets in theory, right? Because someone has to support flash, 2 to 3 banana, 2 brackets. Hard Legion gambling on the numbers. But Crad goes a little hard. Nico finds Forrester. And it's just about doing what's necessary now. Rage has a boiler, but they found the site player, and the round, I fear, is close to fallout.
Yeah, making sure to trade pretty cleanly. Even down to this, right? It's down, he sees the player, takes the fight, and then backs off to quasi-safety. Not quite all the way there, but all the same. Not taking too many risks. Maybe he was backing off, he buys a bit of time for his teammates to come in, make sure that the trade is 100% solid. So, good stuff. Hard Legion, though, back in with another buy. It's kind of past the dangerous territory. They really do need to get around back on the board here, because Heroic, if they keep on going, there ain't going to be no stopping them. And moving into the CT side, really start to worry. Cadian, early pickup coming in from him, as, again, looking more consistent, I have to say, here on this third map. Definitely was missing on the first, it has to be said. Second map, not really required. But coming into Inferno, has been having a hell of a time, particularly on the T side. Or Kinky trying to find something, not working out. Craziness is setting in. Hard Legion are desperate for a round. And unfortunately, it seems the individuals are desperate rather than the team itself. Not as much coordinated aggression as we'd like to see. It is more just players peeking, well, one by one by one. I think that's the first little buddy system that we've seen there from Rage and Crad. It works out. So maybe they should try and replicate it a bit more often.
It's kind of the conversation we had oh so long ago in pregame and into Dust 2 is when Hard Legion are on, they look great. I think Dust 2 is a perfect example of that, of team cohesion, utility being used together, fighting as a unit. Not in the later parts, but the early parts that got them there and got them the win in the end. But now on Nuke and Inferno, maps that take a little more than some good flashes. It takes peeking together. It takes being way more coherent than on Dust 2. And unfortunately, they're just not together. They're not on the same page. Peaks like that, even on rifle rounds, full-blown rounds, it's all falling apart for Hard Legion. Desperate for fights, desperate for rounds, and Heroic are just cleaning it all up. Kinky and Forrester, that's a beautiful bait and switch. That's what they need, more of that. In response, Cadian's just going to run up mid. You know, brackets is open. 2 in towards halls. That means the wrap should be perfect. Cadian, I don't think he's going to expect Rage to be here, but Cadian's not wanting to press his luck. Now he's stuck with the bomb. A lot of trust in Stown to try to get a kill towards B. Cadian somehow gets...
Particularly if Cadian, you know, is not careful, or Stown goes down a little too easily. There it is. Okay, so Cadian going to get caught off. Stown was trying to be the individual to save the day. Unfortunately, not able to get it done, and now they're just stacked up. Rage will take him down, and there you have it. 4th round for Hard Legion. Finally back on the board. Now looking to get that 5th as well in the bag. Oh, guys. No.
See, I don't know if they're doing this for the lulz,
or
they're
if they have an
actually
actual
doing
idea.
or if they're actually doing it because they have good spawns and can beat them towards banana. Because Hard Legion have been hit or miss when it comes to the banana aggression. You see, they're just getting the one nade down, and there you go. So they go for the airstrike on those sandbags, and the P90s can just jump around and keep charging. They don't necessarily have to reload as often as the AK. 50 bullets, let them jump in, let them take all these fights. The AKs just trade them out in support. 4 up. I mean, I wish he had Betty wished he had an AK there. And then the post plants are not the best, but Sound gonna push forward, and there you go. I think that was less so of a BM thing and more so airstrike chase down the single top banana player, because Hard Legion have been very light on utility usage towards banana, and Heroic read it beautifully.
Yeah, to be fair.
But also it could be we're gonna do it with P90s just to twist.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe the one guy with a P90, but having 3 is a bit over the top, you have to say. It's just kind of like a silly. You might as well just do it with Mac 10s because it's a hell of a lot cheaper. I suppose it's the end of the half, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, either way, Heroic able to bounce back. Hard Legion, as you can see, really struggling in the middle and into the end of that first half to get on the board. Took them so very long, and even then they're not able to string it together. Doesn't really feel like it's enough because it's 11-4 to Heroic, and they are now moving on to their CT side, which we have heavily praised across the course of the series. I think it's going to be really hard for them. Goes without saying. Pistol, first rifle round, probably even the second rifle round to feel comfortable here for Hard Legion. Let's see what they've got.
Aggression from Heroic down mid. Kinky finds that as the kit in Borup's hands. He needs to just lay of support Nico as they push down mid. And Heroic come out with a man advantage. Hard Legion understand that might be able to get timing towards Halls. That's a big kill for Age considering he has the bomb, but can he get to the site? Down will allow him to. Crad gets caught pushing. And now the retake's on without even a plant coming in. Oh, missing shots down. You gotta hit those. Molly on his left has to face Rage, making it all too easy for him. They'll finally take him down. Nico the last 2, and Heroic with what may be the dagger in the so far.
Yeah, certainly the salt in the wound, the kick in the teeth, all the cliches, all the idioms. But it applies because it's a really nice round for Heroic to be picking up, and they're in such a great position now. Really tough time for Hard Legion. Not even like allowing really tough. Here though, bit of a slower start. Heroic not really getting in their face, not too much information. Also 5 MP9s up against the fully armored opponents is a little bit scary here. Now I'm going to come in with the first. Will be traded back immediately, and there it is, trade onto Nico as well. So suddenly looking a little more even than perhaps you would expect. Deagle onto Borup. Bomb plant has yet to come in. It's actually trapped in pit, so this could really make a difference.
Rage with a trade. Cadian in a 1v2. Gambling that they give you a one-on-one. A smoke towards Moto. Cadian gonna slowly creep up. Will he check close right? Gets overlooked. He will get shot down. And now I'm gonna give you my thoughts on that buy from Heroic. It sucks. I understand where they're coming from, but you'll see a lot of people and a lot of teams understand that they can't afford to go all SMGs because they're going to buy armor. They're going to buy what they can. They're going to buy pistols. They're going to be explosive. SMGs are great for close quarters, but you get overwhelmed. You don't have the firepower to take the long. I see where they're going with it, but at the same time, that's why a lot of teams buy 1 or 2 rifles behind it, because not everyone can make money. Not everyone can make bank, and it just seemed a little silly.
Yeah, I mean, they have rounds to play with, but And again, it goes back like that P90 buy, a little bit cheeky, but you can kind of maybe see the viability behind it. Around like that, though. I remember the French used to do it quite a bit, but that was back in the days where couldn't be forced buying as often anyway. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely a weird one, and they pay the price, right? And now they're in with a tough time for the next couple of rounds. Having to force up here, probably eco the next one. Maybe they win this, but we'll see. The pesky B smoke's coming in, keeping Hard Legion at bay until there's not very much time left. Borat was hoping he would go and check. Not going to be the case. Oh my goodness, so much damage coming in there. But no frag. That is so very unlucky. Stown is the only one left now. Nico on the back end gets taken down. Holy, this one could have been a very different story.
There was glimpses of that going the other way. You could just see the damage. But Hard Legion, honestly, I'm very surprised they kept 5 alive here, Scrib. I don't know how they pulled that one off. Hey, they need numbers, they need rounds, they need all the guns they can get to make the run back happen. And Heroic nearly made that force up a reality. Instead, now it's going to be 6 for Hard Legion. It's down. Trying to back on out. Wants to save his Deagle and armor. A chase will be given by Hard Legion. Stown should be able to get out alive. Oh, yes. He'll live. His teammates won't buy. And it's another round for Hard Legion to sneak the bonus round out. To take those MP9s they got for free. Make more money, then upgrade. And there's an opportunity for Hard Legion to get some free rounds on the board.
Yeah, definitely backfiring in a big way. the MP9 buy. It's not Heroic that have made money from it. It's actually Hard Legion that are profiting mad. To be honest. But yeah, like you say, a chance to get some momentum going and everything, and obviously getting the rounds on the board, but it's still going to be a fairly hefty gap in between before the next rifle comes out. Rifle round, sorry, comes out. But I think for me, it definitely does come down to the confidence, the momentum that they're going to get here, and the nice little economic cushion they will have for themselves. Pretty anticlimactic one, though, it looks like, because they are stacked on the B-bomb site. Not expecting too much at all. So, if you've got anything to do in this round, you know, get it done. They're going to rush down Banana. And they will try and find a frag or two here, but the AK, of course, in with the assistance. Kinky's not far away. Crad coming in from the other side. Hard Legion will indeed get it. Sviat surviving on like 2 HP there, but surviving nonetheless.
Wow. Now this is where I think all of them should upgrade, just because you don't really want to give that 13 over. And there we go. I love it from Hard Legion. You've made your cash. It's time to take the stacks, the chips you've made, cash it out, go in with a full buy, fight the full buy. Heroic taking the aggressive route. Bore up while blind, still finding Kinky a second on the Crad. That shouldn't have happened. Should not have been possible. And I can hear the Hard Legion members typing to each other, and I can understand why. Heroic, they get guns out. The sun's out, at least for me. And it's a great start to the round.
Yeah, sky's a bit grey in Britain, so might be the same for the Danes. Cannot speak for the further east members of Hard Legion. The sun not really shining on them in this round, that is for sure. And they've had ample amounts of time here on the Heroic side, as you can see, pulling off the boost there. Getting a nice little setup on the B-bomb site, which it does appear that's where the bomb is going to end up, but that kind of requires Forrester backing off and picking it up, where you only have 35 seconds left. There's not an awful lot of time to work with. So what's the plan here? Are these two players going to move in by themselves and make life difficult, or are they going to wait, for things like this to come in? Utility keeping them back. Smoke goes towards CT. Bomb coming in. You've only got 20 seconds. Rotation's coming through. It's the sound being heard. It's going to be a real tough time. Their window of opportunity is shrinking. Oh, and the two-man spray down. Not super clean from Stown, but he manages to get them both in the end. Cadian chimes in with the final one. And the 13th round for Heroic. Hard Legion, just too much utility to deal with. Pause coming in, as it is required. Oh, man. It's tough.
Wow.
Tough to be on the ends of plays like that.
Yeah, it's also unfortunate because Hard Legion could have gotten out of that because the molly even missed. They mollied logs where you kind of want it in the middle so it hits part of logs. If they're in logs, they can't peek you, so it gives that one-on-one with the player on the left. And even with the molly missing, it was still no chance for them to fight back there. Svat having a very, very quiet game. Someone who's typically explosive. Heroic. Taking every round by storm once rifles come back into their hands. As Hard Legion will have enough for a full buy immediately into the op for Rage, which, you know, it bodes well to his confidence, but this is the hardest map to op on T side and be effective. Reason being, the CTs really don't need to peek you for info, you need to peek them. Because they can jiggle off angles and have full mid control from brackets and from porch. They can be boosted up and not have to peek mid at all. They don't even have to fight for banana. They can hide behind a half wall. They can hide on corners. They can just string utility together. It is so hard to be effective as a T-side operator, and you don't have many places to go to get those picks. Very little chance. So I hope that confidence from CT boils over to Rage's opping here on the T-side, because an effective operator on the T-side, it's so incredibly important, and it goes such a long way. That's Cadian, gonna be looking to be this confident and successful opping of himself, actually holding for the window jump of all things. If he would have held a bit longer, you might have been able to find Forrester, but he falls back, fades away. In the meantime, Heroic's B players have done the same as they look to readjust from their early aggression.
Apartments control going to come through, although they're not really able to do very much with it on the Hard Legion side of things. Just more information gain that there's no one in there. Cadian, meanwhile, has moved across to the B side. Kind of swap positions here as they feel like it's going to be a B hit, but they might be a bit wrong on that. It does look like indeed they're going to head towards A here. At the very least, they have the brackets control. Oh, great flash coming in. Tessus not quite able to find anything. 40 seconds remaining, and again, Hard Legion perhaps letting the clock wind down a little bit too much. They are going to move back towards A. I think A is going to be the final destination. There's two players in on the site itself, and Nico is... This is such a hard setup to break apart. They really do not have a lot of time to work with, nor do they have very much utility. Tessus is going to be tagged down low. Needs to be a bit careful, but the player's coming in and just going to walk straight into Nico. He picks up two. Borup, meanwhile, still on the site. 10 seconds left. They have to get the bomb down now, and they don't really have time to do so. Flash is coming in, kind of screws Borup over a little bit into the 1 versus 2. Not going to happen. And Heroic get the 14th on the board.
Big 2 kills from Nico. More importantly, not only Nico getting his 2 kills, but Borup staying alive to allow Stown to rotate as quick as he did. It wore the clock down. Borup didn't even need to get another kill. He just needed to live. And Stown, knowing he's in a 2v1, can go ahead and take the fight, try to delay the plant, try to make him face him. He won the fight, but even if he lost it, time would have been super close for that plant to come through. And now it's just Hard Legion not conceding 15, just making it easier for Heroic to get there, as Hard Legion have confidence in themselves to be able to buy up next and go from there. But with an opening pick, they're really starting to set the tone into this one. They can take banana control away, perhaps, from Cadian, but they're looking towards brackets. Cadian has to be ultra aware and just keep eyes towards banana. And that single rifle on Kinky can be the difference maker.
Kind of has to at this point. They need a real big round. Not going to happen, though. Borup with the double spray down. Oh, goodness. Oh, man. That's not the best way to approach the A-bomb site. He might just have crushed their hopes and dreams here. Rage has retrieved the AK and on 4 HP manages to take down Tessus. Another kill coming in as Nico is spotted out there on the edge of the smoke, but Borup coming around. He wants his 4K. He can taste it. Oh, he can see it. His third at the very least. Forrester, meanwhile, back to A because he needed to get the bomb, and now into the 1 versus 2. Will actually be able to get to the B bomb site here. Will he be able to get there in time, though? Cadian is in with a pretty quick rotation. It's intense right now as we're following both of them. I think Cadian just about gets around the corner, but misses the shot. Forrester goes for the fake, spots out an AK. Here's Cadian over in the church and going to try and go for the plant again here. Cadian, again, going to look to deny him. Unfortunately, not quite fast enough, and now the 1 versus 2 looking a bit more doable. They're split. Oh, isolated. He's going to get spotted out. Borup not taking any chances at all. Molly and Flash in hand. Now grouping up is the better way to play it. Flash will come in. Gonna push in together. Borup to go first. Cadian to trade. Oh. Golf claps all around as it's very clean in the 2 versus 1. Heroic, though. Battle hard for their 15th.
Borup, what can you do? This man is getting all the kills. That almost happened for Forrester. Borup just holds this down. The off angle, not in arch, so he gets spotted when they jiggle. And Forrester nearly makes it happen. I could have lived in a world where Cadian missed that shot, and Forrester immediately takes him out. But this is it. Everything's on the table, all the chips, all in our Hard Legion. Heroic the same. But Heroic have OT secured. They have the series on the line. And Hard Legion fighting to stay alive as Forrester, the man, coming alive when his squad needs him. Kinky's burning to death. Tess is late to rotate. Can he find Kinky? No. And he leaves just Cadian, the IGL, to hold the site. Kinky's baiting, baits the shot. Cadian spins, shot in the back. And that's one way to take the A site by storm. The clouds roll in, and Heroic just have to play for exits, lick their wounds, because there is no way you're getting back into this one.
Yeah, Hard Legion bringing it to them once again. I mean, situation like this, the pressure off a little bit, they can certainly step things up, but down picking up Forrester has got other ideas. See whether they're able to get away. Okay, so it does look like it. They're not going to send too many more players there. They can't really afford to do so. Kinky as well, pretty low. Needs to think about leaving. I'm not sure he'll survive in the corner there, matey. He's just going to go down, maybe? Okay, no, it was planted deep enough into the site. He's all good. But still, clean enough from Hard Legion there. Surviving with the bare minimum of 3, will be able to drop across, get another buy going. Heroic, though, not as much cash available to them as they would like, so the 2 players saving, pretty important for them to try and put something together. Still not ideal, though, so it will be a tough 24th round coming in.
Cadian considering a mid-peak there. Not liking the timing. Not going to go ahead and commit to it. But he is just on an MP9, so it wouldn't be much of a peek. Nico chased down. They're going to try to pinch Crad here. But he has that helping him with spraying through the wall. They clean up all of the Heroic members and apps. Borup is going to be rotating, and I think our Legion will have a good idea that they're going to have to pull a B player over. But in their mind, is it the solo B player? Or did we just kill all the A players? And they're just going to sit and wait because they can afford to let Heroic make the next move. The next mistake, a peek from Stout only gets 1. Borup's back to B. They'll hear the molly, and they know they own the A site. That should be 9 for Hard Legion. Heroic. Risk, no reward.
Unfortunate, I think. Still got a lot of rounds to play with, though. It definitely doesn't pay off in this one. You'd hope that they go for something a bit more clinical in future, but hard to tell. Or should be able to survive here. They're not really dedicating all that many players to hunt him down, and Crad even wants to be a bit careful, to be honest with you. The money not absolutely perfect. Especially if they are going to be mounting this comeback and pulling it all the way back to overtime, which in their minds is what they are after, of course. But yeah, take a look here and see what Heroic decide to go for. I think the smart buy, you know, of course, well, probably the smart decision is to just not buy. And that is exactly what they're going to do. Okay, so brilliant, really good stuff here. Should be a 10th for Hard Legion, but Heroic still got a lot of rounds to play with.
Oh, a ton, yeah. It's going to take a few more errors from Heroic. Hard Legion going to have to maintain and stay on their game to capitalize. Ooh, was that? I think he hit him once. That wasn't a 100 HP nade, but that surely hurt. Crad about to come out Balk. Cadian's gonna greet him with a Zeus if he tries to peek this. A little bit of game of chicken. Who wants to peek first? And then I have a feeling it would be Crad. Gonna clear close, but it's hard to clear that tight angle. Cadian waiting. Come on, Cadian. Swing into him. Oh, hang on. Zeus kill maybe. Forrester's walking up himself. Crad gonna take it as wide as he can. Oh, there you go. He does push in. Perfect timing. Molly's default cross. And Molly took the weirdest bounce I've ever seen, but he still makes it into pit.
A little bit of a weird one. Probably not how I expected it to go, honestly. Cadian in at pit can play a lot of headshot angles here, and he might just have to. Okay, no. Heading towards B, or are they just... Okay, so they're just clearing the angles. It does look like they are going to come back towards A here. Makes a lot of sense. And Cadian, the game back on. Like I say, there's so many headshot angles in at pit that he can play that are really, really difficult to deal with. Gonna hold the crack angle. Here's players here, there, and everywhere. The plank gonna come in. Now, what is the decision? Are they gonna rotate around and try and do this? Or are they gonna save Borup's M4? It's going to be buying into the next round. Anyway, Cadian unfortunately cannot land the flick, and I think that may well affect the decision. At least for Borup, who, yeah, has started to move away. Maybe going to try and retrieve a weapon here for the other two players. Or find some exits. Forrester, got to be careful. Ooh, just snuck in behind enemy lines there has Tessus. Where are all the bloody guns, though, mate? Where are all the guns? Oh, okay, well, that'll be Kinky getting tagged up. I think should be okay. No, actually goes down to the bomb, so there you have it. Damage done. Kill comes in. 200 IQ.
Yeah, 5 more rounds, and it's going to be another buy that's going to be missing a little bit of utility on the Heroic side. Cadian, lucky Crad didn't just continue to hold the angle. And right when he falls off is right when Forrester pushes up. I think he went back to throw a chimney flash, and that's right when Cadian caught him. And you can see a couple players lack utility. Cadian breaks out the aggression from Nico down middle. A banana push to be the distraction. Nico to be the man to secure the round, but he's found out, has to win his fights, and it's hard. Legion coming up with kill after kill, but look at this, Borup's nade and spray out of nowhere, right when you thought Hard Legion were fine. They lose the banana trades. Forrester gives chase. Cadian's alone on A, and it's so early to be in a 3v2.
Lincoln, you'll miss it, boys, as it might just be the end of the game here if Heroic can play their cards right. Forrester and Crad to pull Hard Legion through and keep their dreams alive here for just another round. It's going to be tough. It really is. But these two boys have been playing relatively well across the course of the series. Cadian, though, holding middle. Easy frag for him as Crad peeking out, was hoping that Forrester could help him. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. Forrester now gets spotted as well. 1 versus 3. They'll all start to encroach on his position. Not very much time. No bomb to play with. Has to use utility just to get out onto balcony. It's not looking too good. He's in and above the smoke. But yeah, Borup just playing nice and patient. Not taking any wide swings at all. Going to drop into pit, but that makes noise. And now what? He's a bit stuck for ideas. Borup, again, is just being so annoying. Eventually takes him down. But they do make it a bit difficult in the end there, Hard Legion. However, it's the 2-1 victory overall in the series. They'll be moving forwards and we'll be saying goodbye to Hard Legion. And hopefully, I think we should be saying hello to Mr. Tea Time.
Yeah, Tea Time hopefully will be joining us as well. He's muted in TeamSpeak, so we don't hear him.
Well,
there
listen, it's
we
fine.
go.
They can hear me at the very least because they've heard you all game long. All right, I've heard you all game long, and I am jealous because you guys just got such a fantastic series to take away. I mean, let's start from what we just witnessed. We just witnessed Bora put up a masterclass on Inferno, and I loved it, Scrib. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, he was so good. He was so good on that CT side. Just like so many big rounds where, sure, he's not like the flashiest, but he just plays really well to facilitate his teammates. Honestly, and yeah, really strong finish from him, 20-16. But you can see it's kind of like the ADR is not quite as high as some of the other players, right? It's not as flashy in that sense, but he still looked really good. And just able to pull off so many key rounds, so many important rounds. You just saw it there at the end. Because of him, they'd kind of like definitely won the round. He did get the kill in the end, but he bought so much time that they were just able to, rotate in and secure that kill onto Forrester in the end.
Listen, I mean, I absolutely believe you, and who cares about ADR? This is European matches. This isn't NAESEA. But because we do have a master of the RWS, a master of statistics with us as well, Keith, listen, there were some pretty good numbers being posted up by Stown as well, and I'm not going to lie, there were some stand-up performances from all the players, but Stown, to me, has been that consistent rock that you can build around.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing lights out. Every heroic match I seemingly catch of him, he is just really good. He gets the kills he needs to get, and that's kind of a big defining role for a player who's trying to become a star player, somebody who's trying to move up in the ranks of CSGO. To the first start is becoming consistent in getting the kills you have to get. You start missing the kills that you should have guaranteed in your role, you're going to run into some problems. But he got every frag he needed to get, and then some. And it was hard to peek him because he seemingly is just so aware in his positioning. And I think this entire series just kind of leans to him playing extremely well. The double ops coming alive, and Nico as well getting involved. And obviously them winning a veto. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but they really just won the game based on that too. Won the whole series on that.
Listen, if we're going to talk about the whole series, we have to go back to Dust 2 as well, which was shaky. Let's be perfectly honest. Heroic did not look like that should have been as close as it did, and there were some magical moments to come through from Cadian. A lot of good clutches, which even brought them to overtime in the first place. Scrib, I think at one point Hard Legion was up 8-0.
I think I want to say it was like 8-1, something like that, but it was a really strong start. Regardless, right? And I mean, it was quite a while ago, so I could definitely be wrong, but yeah, it was pretty nuts. Yeah, so just looking at it, Heroic did get the one round. I think they won like a force buy or whatever, right? And then
yeah, they won the first force buy. You're right. I had that written down.
And Hard Legion just didn't seem to care. Just completely turned it around. And then I don't know, it dropped off a little bit towards the end of that half. It was like an 8-7 half where it's kind of like, okay, should Heroic have been allowed to pull it back to that? But then they went on to the T side. It's like, whatever, dude. And they got to 15 super quick, only dropping like 3 rounds in that second half before they got to 15. And then it went to overtime. And it's like, okay, what the hell's happened here? So yeah, it was really weird kind of time, I have to say. I don't know how it was able to come so close in the end, but it did. And then Hard Legion, I think, never really recovered from that. They just looked very burnt out for the rest of the series and constantly on the back foot, constantly having to fight back against Heroic's pacing and setups and
absolutely
executes and everything. It was really difficult for them from there on in.
And I think we can safely say that map pool is probably a pretty big issue that Hard Legion will be facing in these best of threes against these teams like Heroic and whatnot. But let's take a look at the bracket because they have unfortunately been eliminated. They had some fantastic players popping off as well. I have to give mad props to Forrester. Every time I see him play, it seems like he's just here to make it really look like it's going to go to the next level. Now, Heroic will be playing up against the winners of Spirit versus Forza. We talked about it before. This side of the bracket seems like it is destined to be the champion, and Heroic, so far, the favorite of the overall tournament, are looking pretty damn good. On the other side, though, we've got our next game coming up shortly. We have Smash versus Nordovin, and that will be deciding who will have the pleasure of facing off versus Simon. Probably the I don't really think it's controversial to say Simon's probably the matchup you want to get instead of Heroic at all. But when all is said and done, we have to be done as well, because another game is coming up in just a bit. And for that, you want to have yourself a bit of water, because that should be a very close series. We'll be back in just a bit.